yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I will need to pull up a couple of things. Mute that. Awesome. We're going to have to record it. All right, here we go. This is it in 3, 2, 1. Core! Hello, everybody. Welcome to Core. This is Core, the only games-related show that says one thing and means another, but also the one thing. I don't know if that makes sense. It doesn't now that
the triple thing, right?
The triple
there.
thing.
With every statement, that's 3 things.
Everybody gets 3 things tonight. You came at the perfect night. If you were looking for 2 things, good news. 3. Anyway, we're here. Last week I was being all cagey about the interview that I did, or the thing I did at Blizzard. I didn't even say what it was.
What was all that about?
I know, right? Now you can go see it, and I don't have to think about it anymore. It's a one-on-one interview I did with Chris Metzen up at Blizzard, and it was a blast to do. And the whole thing's, well, not the whole thing. There's a ton of cut stuff because we recorded for hour and a half or close to. We may have been pushing 2. I don't remember, but there's a ton of cutting room floor stuff that I don't think anyone's ever going to see, but for 25 minutes or so, you'll get to see the best bits, and they're all up on the Warcraft YouTube channel now at youtube.com/Warcraft. Or I guess,
let's kick it off the hashtag #ReleaseTheJohnsonCut.
Yeah, let's do it.
ReleaseTheJohnsonCut.
There was a part where I made a reference about a box of ding-dongs. That didn't make it. I talked about how I called Khadgar Shit Wizard. They used a different version in the thing. What else? There's
listen, I think that Khadgar bit's gonna hit different once people start playing the expansion.
Yeah, that's true. There's also a bit where he says a thing and they left it in, and people are already speculating like crazy about it. But my reaction to him saying it got cut. So I'm not going to say what it was, and I don't know why they cut it, but I'll leave it to people's imaginations as to whether they think that was indicative of any potential spoilers. I don't know.
Everybody knows. Why are you being cagey? Everybody knows what part you're talking about, and everybody knows what name you would have yelled.
You say the part, and I'll tell you if you're right.
Okay, because the thing everybody is reacting to is when he says, "You are not prepared for what's going to happen to the sword." A famous quote, one of the most famous quotes said by Illidan Stormrage. Everybody knows this.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You see, back in the day.
Yeah. Let me tell you the story about this.
Let me tell you about the War of the Ancients, Beau. This is 2 brothers.
It was a long time ago. But no, they. I may or may not have also reached out to the voice actor of Illidan Stormrage to try to get some sort of confirmation, and I basically got the equivalent of, "I'm up in the Canadian forest right now doing stuff. I won't be able to check this till later. My internet's terrible. I'll let you know." And that's what I got. It was almost like, we're breaking up. We're breaking up. That's kind of what it felt like. I still haven't heard from him. He is actually in Canada, so he shares soil with Beau currently. But anyway, yeah, John's right. I think that there was a indication there of something that will probably involve Illidan. They didn't say for sure. And no, for the record, nobody told me either. I don't know. I actually don't know. I'm going off the same info everyone else has, is that he said that. I just happened to blurt out Illidan after he did it, and then they cut that. So for whatever it's worth.
Everyone collectively who saw the interview blurted out Illidan after he said that. And if they didn't, then I'm sorry. I will take your Warcraft card. You don't deserve it anymore.
Oh, shit.
Look, it's the rules. It's just the rules.
Yeah, we live by the rules here on the world-renowned video game podcast called Core. The other thing is, to coincide with that, the Instance 2.0 launched. It's now a monthly. I revived it. I resurrected it using a spell, necromancy, if you will, and posted up last night. It's on YouTube, the podcast, all that stuff. If you want to check it out, it's over at frogpants.com/instance. It is 100% WoW-focused stuff, just like the good old days. So check it out. And let me know what you think.
I started listening to it. It's been good so far. Not through the whole thing yet, but
yeah, it went a little long because night before a new expansion.
Yeah, 2-hour show. What the hell?
I know,
well,
right?
I mean, look, it's gotta last a month. Can you imagine if we only got to do this once a month? How long this show would be?
Oh my gosh, 8.5, 9 hours per episode or something. Can't be doing that.
Whole day.
We'd still be doing it.
Yeah, it's like D&D or something. Anyway, so there's that. Also, happy War Within Day for those who celebrate. The game has been live since the expansion has been live since 4 p.m. my time. I got in for about a half an hour
before the show.
Yeah, right. About an hour before the show. We were floating the possibility of bumping the show to Friday so that whoever was going to play would have a chance to play. It just felt skeevy, so I was like, no, we got to do a show. We can't do that.
My wife came in and was like, because I asked her, I had to ask her, I was like, are we good Friday? Because she keeps track of that stuff better than I do. And I'm like, I think Friday's fine. But she was here and she reads the responses and she reads when I write back and she goes, well, why would they even want it moved? And I said, well, War Within launches tomorrow. And she goes, did you just guilt them into recording on Thursday because you're not playing the expansion?
It's not
I said,
your fault.
She said, you said to them, I don't have any reason to push it. That's guilting them. I said, I was just being honest.
No, this is what our wives are good at, man. This is great. She's telling you like it is, but also I didn't get that impression from you. It was fine.
Okay, good. It wasn't meant. No. I just was like, at the time I hadn't put 2 and 2 together. I was like, I don't have a reason.
Well, I'm definitely aware that, like, given the age of your children, you're the least flexible. You know, I don't have kids, so I'm always like, Friday's fine. I can reschedule.
Yeah.
And, Scott's not really in that phase right now where he's, you can push and it's fine. But
it's usually
this is the break I get. Honestly, I'd rather record both days.
Yeah. Let's do two cores a week, everybody. You heard it here first. It's happening. Well, anyway, we'll have more to say about that in the future when we played some more. Obviously, the monthly instance will cover that in huge amounts. So watch for that. But today, we got to talk about Gamescom. Gamescom 2024 happened. I also found out why when I was at Blizzard, there were less overall people there than I expected. And I found out more recently that tons of them were at Gamescom. So I'd forgotten that was happening. So people were already traveling and making their way there, and some spending up to 2 weeks there, just, managing what they had to do for the show and that sort of thing. I would assume that was mostly Diablo people and Overwatch people, because there wasn't much in the way of WoW stuff there. Not big announcements or anything. Because, the expansion's here. It's just like, here it is. We're done with all that stuff. So
yeah, it's time.
Anyway, let's talk about these. Now, before we get into it, big props to John Jagger over here, heir to the Mick Jagger fortune, because he went in here.
Oh boy, I hope so. Man, can you imagine what a surprise that would be?
Oh,
so pleasant. They're like, I'm sorry, Mick Jagger has died. It's like, oh, that's rough. And then all of a sudden I get a call.
Yep.
Well, he's left you everything.
Well, can you imagine? You'd lose your shit. Think about that.
I would, because I'd just buy a bunch of new stuff.
All right, let me ask you this. If that happened, Mick Jagger finally ups his mortal coil and he's out of here, which doesn't seem like it's going to happen anytime soon. That guy's weird.
Yeah.
He's weirdly longevity based. The whole band is, really. I guess
drugs will keep you alive.
I guess
for a long time.
They're all pickled, but anyway, I guess the drummer died, so I shouldn't count all of them. But anyway, so let's say that happens. Part of the will is John Jagger gets everything, my entire fortune.
Okay.
But in order to receive it, you have to live, just you and Keith Richards, inside of a public portable John, like an outdoor toilet like you see at a concert. You have to stay in that tiny space for 6 months and never leave. People will give you meals through the little window vent. You'll have to share all that little space. So for 6 full months of your life, you, not Mick Jagger.
He's dead.
Who's the other one?
In this scenario.
Who's the other guitarist?
Keith Richards.
Keith Richards. You have to stay in that little outhouse for 6 months. Would you do it?
Are we just in the outhouse, or are we like down in the...
No, you're just in the outhouse. So you're up above the hole, but you got to share that hole. And by the way, no one's cleaning out that hole for the full 6 months.
I mean, honestly, I feel worse for Keith Richards.
Won't anyone please think of Keith Richards in this fake scenario that we made up? It's John who's going to be fine. It's Keith Richards who's going to be like, "Oh my gosh, you dropped another bomb today. What did you do in here?"
I'm like, "Hey Keith, get ready. This is a 3 for days for me."
Man.
So I'm pretty sure I'm going to overpower him, and I've had 40 years to get used to my situation. So yeah, that's a lot of money to get for that. So, my apologies to Keith Richards for what's about to come his way. And a big fortune in 6 months.
Yeah, I think at this stage it's got to be I think he's some billions. It's not just millions anymore. You'd be a billionaire walking out of that toilet. I'd do it.
Get me that really expensive Final Fantasy VI statue. That would be my splurge.
Yeah, and
everything else pretty much fine, but I'd buy that.
Yeah, and we could have the show still. And he'd be like, Keith, shut up! I'm recording. You just have to say to Keith Richards all the time.
Yeah, I mean it is a really bum deal for Keith Richards. The chat points out he's not getting anything. No. It's not like we're splitting it. Like, in addition to the fact that I think it's a worse situation for him, he's also not walking away with anything.
That's true. He'll share his weed though. You'll be fine. Well, anyway,
I've never done weed, so it'll be a new experience for the first 6 months. So there we go.
It'll mostly be contact high, I think, because he'll just be blowing it. You'll have to just groove on it. He'll be blowing it right in your face. Yeah. Anyway, this is a weird thing to think about. Let's move on. So anyway, I was supposed to give John credit here. He did this amazing job of breaking down all the Gamescom stuff. I've been catching up on it, but I've been very busy this week with all this other stuff, and I haven't had a chance to hadn't had a chance to deep dive. John went and categorized the whole damn thing.
Yeah, he did a lot of work. It was great.
Good Lord, man. I'm impressed.
It was a long show. It's a really long show.
Yeah, it was long. Also, can I just say overall, I don't feel like I walked away with too big a surprise. Like, Gamescom sometimes is known for like one or two big bangers, like, oh my gosh, can you believe this is happening? I didn't feel like that happened here.
No, it wasn't that. It was all right. There wasn't anything in the list of games that counted as like, whoa. A lot of it was stuff we already knew about, and that's fine.
Yeah, I think the biggest surprise for me is not a video game.
Oh
yeah, no, that's right.
Wait.
Is it what I'm thinking? I want to let you
it's the first thing we're going to talk about.
Oh, shit.
We get right into that.
Let's get right into it. I didn't know this came out at Gamescom, so this is interesting. I thought this just showed up as a trailer.
Have you seen any of the footage?
I saw a trailer, and that's it, like a teaser.
Okay, yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I saw some Space Marine shit, and that's all I've seen. And of course,
what are we talking about?
Well, yeah, let's
the thing we're talking about.
Yeah, maybe is there
what is the thing? What is this?
Is there something on our bingo card that we can mark off?
Ladies and gentlemen, is what edging is, by the way.
Oh, great!
They're talking around it, but they haven't said it. Keep you on the edge of your seat.
I got a text from somebody. A message somebody sent me on Facebook. A family member who said, "I heard your latest core," and she goes, I just said who it is. Well, I didn't say who it is. It's a she in my life. And she goes, did you really have to did you have to talk about edging so much? Did that have to be a part of it?
Was it your mom?
You blame me because I'm the one that brings these things up.
Yeah, I basically laid it all on Beau and said, no, Beau was the one. But it was really Beau's fault. And we left it at that.
I like to talk about gross things. That's kind of a deal.
It's your deal. It's your thing. I mean, one of us here owns Orc Massage, and it ain't me and John. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's right.
But anyway,
else I am.
I don't want to know.
We talk about Orc Massage, but that's just the surface of
I
massage.
Don't even want to know. All right, here's this thing called Secret Level. This came out of nowhere for me. 15-episode anthology animation series from Amazon, from Prime. I don't know, the best comparison I could come up with is Love, Death, and Robots or something.
Because it's them.
It's literally it's those producers. But it's all game stuff. So like I said, we saw some Space Marine stuff in there, but there's also God of War stuff and oh gosh, I can't even think of it all.
Kratos is in
Kratos,
there. Mega Man is in there. Yeah, Pac-Man is in there.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm really curious about Mega Man.
Yeah, the Mega Man one I'm really excited for. There was another one that I feel like got excited for you guys on. Like, it wasn't even necessarily my thing, but I was like, oh my god.
Warhammer 40K, and it looks like the animation, I don't know if it's the same guy, but it definitely looks inspired by the Astartes animation.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here we have it. Here's a list of things.
Please.
Games that inspired the 15 epic stories include Armored Core, Concord, Crossfire, Dungeons and Dragons, Exodus, Honor of Kings, Mega Man, New World Pac-Man.
What?
I don't know what the word is.
Okay.
Various PlayStation Studios games, Sifu, Spelunky, The Outer Worlds. Oh, this is the one I was excited for Scott. Unreal Tournament and Warhammer 40K.
Yeah.
Yeah, Unreal Tournament is definitely like, oh, what's that about? That's interesting. For
sure. I mean, I don't know what to fully expect other than it'll be a nice, nostalgic trip for me. I don't think it maybe portends anything about Unreal.
They might tell
back.
a good story though, right? Like I saw some of that robots show, and like the storytelling was pretty good.
Yeah. What if it's everybody's favorite episode is the Unreal Tournament one?
Yeah.
And the clip that people are going, this is the Unreal Tournament episode, has a map that looks like Facing Worlds on it, but different.
Oh, shit. I missed that. I need to watch it like 5 more times now. Yeah. I mean, they're speaking my language. This is a thing I love no matter what it's about. The fact that it crosses with gaming is a big deal. And I also think that it's time we took that shit more seriously. I mean, hell, most of the Love, Death, and Robots segments, the 3D segments anyway, are from studios who make game cinematics. Like lots of them anyway, not all of them, but a lot of them are. Some of my favorites are definitely from game. What's the one that always does everybody's stuff that isn't
Blur? That's who's doing this. Yeah,
right. Blur's, but it's not all Blur. It's other stuff, right? Other studios, I think. I don't think it's all Blur.
That'd be different. I guess studios doing different anthology episodes. I guess.
Yeah, that's how they do Love, Death, and Robots. So I assume it's the same kind of thing. Does that mean David Fincher's involved in this? He might be because he was co-producer of that, and I love Fincher, and I don't see it here. That's okay. It doesn't matter.
I don't think we know like who's doing what episodes or like details on that front yet.
Yeah.
I don't think we got that far. Or at least it wasn't part of the presentation.
Yeah.
What was part of the presentation though was the presenter crying, which was kind of adorable.
It is adorable.
Finally get to do this. He's like just like genuinely emotional. It was very adorable. I was like, oh damn, like they really.
Oh, I think it's awesome.
Person really, he's like, don't mind me. I cry a lot. He said during the presentation. And I was like, okay, well, it was great. It was a moment.
Yeah,
it was probably from watching it, it was the better moments of the presentation. Like your breathtaking kind of thing.
Oh, we haven't done that in a while. Did I?
A sweet, genuine moment. I don't think it got memed or anything, but it stood out to me because he seemed very excited to be announcing this. So.
Cyberpunk's not in this, right? No. Okay, because I saw somebody who looked like Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves looks like he's in it. I believe he's in the Armored Core one. Is the expectation?
Okay,
that would be wild. That might sell me on actually playing
on the whole thing. Play Armored Core.
Could be. I've been hanging out with Keanu a lot in Cyberpunk. So
Yeah, he's your good pal.
He's pretty good in that game.
I can't wait to see though. Like, I want to know more about Mega Man, but also I want to know more about what they do with Pac-Man. I want to know what they're doing with
right. We barely saw any Pac-Man stuff. I have no idea what to expect.
Like Spelunky. Very curious about how that goes.
You're a big Spelunky fan too. That one was
love Spelunky.
It's like, damn.
Yeah, Spelunky's awesome.
Spelunky's one of my favorite all-timers, man.
I hope it does well because maybe they'll do another one, and maybe there'll be other games. Not that I'm not happy with the list, but I'd say I haven't played most of the games on the list, or D&D and Warhammer jump out. Mega Man seems awesome for me, and
I didn't realize we had a date. December 10th is when this all hits. So, and one would assume.
I'm excited for this. This like jumped out to me during the whole announcement, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm glad I tuned into this for this reason. And it wasn't even a game, but it was easily the thing I was the most excited for.
Yeah, I'm very jazzed.
Oh, I think maybe the reason you're thinking Cyberpunk when you watch this is because Concord. There's some new games on the list, right? So Concord is.
Oh, the Sony deal, Concord, yeah.
Yeah, so like, and that trailer, like the animation was rock solid. I didn't really love the writing, but like the actual look of the cinematic was good.
Yeah,
so
nice.
Maybe there's a fun ass episode of that one too. That could be. That's like an unknown, right? Because it's not a known property. You're not like sure.
So the New World Aeternum one is the one John said that is also, it's spelled weird, so I don't know if I'm even saying it right. But that's not New World like the Amazon New World, is it?
Yeah, that's a show on Amazon too. So
Aeternum is like the expansion name. I think.
Oh, and it's an Amazon Studios game. You're right.
Yeah.
No wonder that's in there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's in there because of that's a Prime thing. Prime
that makes
joint,
sense.
And, yeah.
I keep hearing that thing's big.
But like also, well, I shouldn't say it that way because it's me, and I want to say nobody asked for this, but
what
but
for
a New World anime. I'm like, that could have been Diablo or something. It's like you filled a slot with some mid stuff. But that's
from what
maybe a mean way of putting it. I'm just
from what I'm hearing from people who used to work on it. There are people that work at Greg's studio who used to work on it, and they think it's in amazing shape right now. And I don't know if that's true. I have to go look.
It. It's just because it's not my favorite. That's why I'm saying it's a mean thing to say because it's just not my favorite.
Well, we wouldn't be the first to do something petty on the internet. It's totally fine.
Well,
it's totally fine.
I try not to do it, but it is also fun to do. It's like one of those hard. It's life's hard as a person talking about video games. There's all kinds of temptations.
Sure,
but you have to be an adult.
Sure. Well, some more good news. If you like Civilization 7 or Civilization 6 through 1 or 1 through 6, then you'll be excited about 7. We knew that was coming, and we also knew we'd get a deeper look at this event, but we didn't know who the narrator would be. Another Game of Thrones alumni showing up here in the form of Gwendolyn Christie, which I think is an inspired choice. I love her voice.
Yeah, it's a good choice.
This was an awesome choice. We did a guess a couple weeks ago where we were picking who we thought would be great, and none of us guessed Gwendolyn Christie. But man, as soon as I heard it, I was like, "This is awesome.
Yep.
This is perfect.
Yep,
you absolutely nailed it."
Yep, love it.
So I couldn't be more thrilled, and it seems like the game's going to have some really interesting twists. Seems like they're leaning into the idea that as you get to certain ages in the game, you'll be able to change or continue the civilization you're playing. So you may start as Egypt, but then once you hit a certain age, you may be able to pick a different civilization to sort of build on top of what you've already built as it evolves. Seems like they're going to actually do stuff with like rivers and trains and all sorts of stuff. So, I think it's kind of compelling. Yeah. I love Civilization, and I did watch the live stream of this where people were doom and glooming, but it's already like one of the most purchased items on Steam for pre-orders.
Yeah.
Like people are going to play it no matter how much they bellyache about whatever they think is the most trivial little change they're making, and I always get excited for a new one, honestly, no matter how much I currently like this current one is fine. I always end up playing the new one regardless.
It's one of those series where you can just count on it being great either right away or in time it will be great. Like they always are great. I've never played a Civ game all the way back to 3 is where I first played it, maybe 2. Maybe a little of 2, I think mostly 3.
Yeah, I think 3 was my first one.
They're never bad. They're great games from day one. 5 was amazing. 6 was amazing. It must be hard to try to top it.
Because I've done a bit more of a deep dive in looking this stuff up. I'm sure you're right about that because this always happens with Civ. But they're making changes, and they're not all necessarily without controversy. For the super nerds that are like, you're changing my Civ.
But you gotta have something, right? It can't just be the same thing every time.
The big change is that there's typically 5 eras in a game, and they're reducing the number of eras to 3. And you play as more than one civilization during a playthrough now. So when you change eras, you pick a new civ.
See, that sounds interesting to me.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm saying that's the controversy, not my controversy.
Not yours.
And that's why I mentioned it, because like I said, I saw people just absolutely bellyaching when they talked about this. And it's like, okay, but the game is also like almost top of the Steam charts for like bestseller right now. So clearly you're just arguing into the void at this point.
It's part of the tradition to hear what the new stuff is and to hate it.
Yeah.
But the game will still do well, I think. Because I'm like, I don't hate it, but I'm like, okay, we get to play more than one sit. Oh no.
I played so much of 5 that I did this when 6 came out. I was like, oh, but it's gonna be different, and I don't like this, and I think I've learned my lesson to just be like, you know what? It'll be what it'll be. If I don't like it, I'll stop playing it.
Yeah.
Like it'll be that simple.
It's a good way of looking at it. I didn't like how, for example, they changed the workers. It's such a small thing, but I really liked how workers worked.
Like the worker change.
Yeah, I still think I don't like it.
That they have limited uses.
Yeah, yes. You get what 3 shots out of them or
I've
something.
Been playing 6. It sucks. It's terrible.
Yeah, like I don't love that. I still don't love it. Like it's not a thing I ever got used to or liked better. But overall, the overall game more than made up for it. It was fine. So, you know.
Yeah, well, I mean, every game has its rules and it's whatever. But once you get, because it's about knowing the rules and the nuances. When they change things that you like, you're just like, well, that's not how I like. I wouldn't have done that change.
Yeah.
But I also think if you can pick up the new Civ and just play it exactly the same way you played the last Civ, then what are you doing? You know, I think a new game is a good time to experiment with it. And, I do hope they do some cool things, because I know we touched on this a little bit. I actually don't think Civ 6 got better with its DLC content. Like, I turn a lot of the stuff from subsequent DLCs off because I just don't think it was an improvement to the game.
Well, disasters always ruin things. I hate them.
I never did that with like 5 and stuff like that.
Yeah, 5 seemed to just get better with every expansion. 6 was good, stayed good, and the new content was for someone. It just wasn't for me, because I didn't care about the religion stuff so much, and I really didn't care for disasters because I just don't think that's fun. Like,
the religion stuff shit. Just bogged stuff down, because they would send so many people and you would waste like minutes of people just going, no, through your little town. And then you'd be like, okay, good. And you may not be going for religious victory, but you sure as hell had to watch everybody come in and try and convert your town. And I just wished I had a button where it was like, hey, proclamation, we're supporting this religion. Please stop sending your missionaries to us. Please stop. Go away.
You know what would have solved it? Just all they needed was this. That guy, just have him in there.
Yep.
All set with your religion. Anyway, that's coming and looks nice, and I think she is an inspired choice for the voice. So very iconic, very good. The guy that did 5 I loved, and I loved Sean Bean, rather. Not Michael Bean. I'm thinking of Aliens again. Sean Bean was amazing in the last one, really great. So we get another Game of Thrones cast off here. And one thing I wanted to mention. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry for Core Bingo players. That's a made up name.
Oh,
Michael Bean.
Michael Bean. Yeah. No, that's a real name. That's a real guy.
That's a real name.
Yeah,
that's not the person you were talking.
You're right. You're right. It counts. You're right. You're totally right.
I think so.
How do we feel about? I don't mind it. I think they've gone a little more realistic with the character design in the what do you call that? When you're trying to work with another nation, what's that called?
Diplomacy.
Geez, the diplomacy screens where they look a little less stylized and cartoony. Some people don't like that. This turn to more of a realistic thing. I think it looks fine. Doesn't bother me.
I think it's okay. You're probably gonna see less Rule 34 fan art of your favorite ruler, but
I didn't think of that. Wait, that implies. Well, it's Rule 34. Yeah, that's my question.
Rule 34 doesn't exist because it doesn't happen. I guarantee you, somebody who's
nobody has a cat ears or a tail. I don't think any 34 is getting made.
I guarantee you, civilization porn exists. I don't really want to Google it, but I guarantee you.
I'm gonna look it up.
Somebody look it up.
I'm looking it up right now.
Somebody has done it.
Okay, Beau. John is 1,000% correct. There is a ton of it. A ton of it. I'm shocked. I'm shocked. I got to get out of here. Look at that. Okay. Woo. Yeah,
it's a little weird to be looking at this stuff during a recording, I got to say. Also, I'm capping a window. I don't want any accidents to happen. It's going to be a problem. I've actually got a window cap going on for the Core Bingo for audio listeners.
Yeah, it's up in the corner.
Sometimes the window tabs over to the wrong window, and the last thing we want to see is, Theodore Roosevelt's pecker on the screen.
I can't disagree with that statement at all.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep it safe, and I'll let Scott look it up.
Yeah,
there's civilization porn?
I can just say I can confirm what John said, that the reason Rule 34 is taken as a literal thing is because it does, and he's right. And I think it's weird as shit that Civ of all the games has a whole ton of that. That's crazy to me. Who is sitting around thinking of that?
Who was it?
All of it. I saw Gandhi and the Queen, not Elizabeth, Queen, whoever she was in the new one in
Catherine?
6. Catherine, yeah, Catherine the Great or whatever. And
Alexander
Gandhi.
the Great, but it's like Catherine. I think is Russia. There's like Catherine.
Oh, I don't remember whoever she is. They don't put the name on it. I can just tell from what it was. Some of them are just the same screens you get in the game, but somebody has gone and photoshopped in like full on naked avatars of these people. For all I know, these are mods. I don't know. Some of them might be. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Oh, I don't know. It's just an image search.
Is it like 500 weirdos or 50,000 weirdos?
I mean, there were
people were watching it.
There were many pages of results, and just the image search is all I did. So.
Okay. Oh, okay. We didn't get views.
There's a lot. I think all it takes is one.
I want some analytics with my Civ porn. I am a Civ player. We like data.
Yeah, you like information.
I need my advisor to come in, please.
Yeah. I need data porn on my actual porn, please. Thank you.
Wonderful. What else? Let's see. Oh, here's one. No one knew was coming, but I don't know how excited I am. I'm probably kind of nonchalant about it. But Borderlands 4 got announced. My favorite thing about the Borderlands 4 announcement is all the kerfuffle around Gearbox's CEO saying previously that Steam was a dead platform and a dying store.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
And they were this is years ago, but they were going to hitch their wagon to the Epic Store. And so they put 3 on the Epic Store, and then eventually the Tiny Tina's Adventure thing on there as well. 3 never made its way to Steam, I don't think, or did it?
No, it did.
Oh, it did eventually.
It did. It was a year. It was a year
That's
exclusive.
Right. So now this one's like straight up just coming to Steam like day one.
Well, I guess Daddy Sweeney's not giving Pitchford cutting him a check this time around.
Must not. Either that or he was just whatever. Why would you even get out and say stuff like that? Like why are you?
I don't think Epic's doing exclusives anymore. Well,
that's probably
as far as I know, right? I haven't heard of
them. Well, that Star Wars Outlaws game isn't on Steam. It's in other places, but it's not on Steam.
Yeah, right? Ubisoft still has something going on with them.
They might have an existing contract. Well, they're not doing it with Gearbox, I guess.
No. So there it is. Yeah. Steam. Boom. It's also on the Epic Store, but it's not.
But he was Randy, because the reason why he was getting raked over the coals is he said 5 years ago, look, Epic's going to absolutely pwn Steam in 5 years. Like, everyone's gonna be like, "What's Steam in 5 years?" Like he had these tweets where he's like, "Epic's gonna take over the globe, man."
He's an insane person. He's an insane person. Why would he think that?
If Randy calls you by your name, you should check your birth certificate to make sure it's he doesn't have it wrong. Like that kind of thing.
Yeah, no, that makes me think he's not a very good CEO because that's a dumb prediction that I would have never.
He might be one of those succeeds in spite of himself kind of guys. Like that's always the impression I've had of him forever since learning about this guy.
Yeah, I do think this announcement would have made more ripples though if the movie had done well.
I was gonna say Borderlands as a property has never been hotter than right now.
Yeah,
on the lips of everyone talking about how absolutely atrocious the film is. So, striking while that iron is tepid.
Yeah.
Borderlands 4, everybody.
I mean, Borderlands is also, 2 was a high point and Tales. I think Tales is just lucky. I don't even think you can count that. But like Borderlands 2,
for me,
it's
3's
been kind of down. It's like when you roll down the hill but you haven't made it to the bottom yet. That's like the whole franchise is like, where it's like still intact, but it's like it's definitely. I don't know, man. I'm excited for more Borderlands, but I kind of want it to be better than it's been. And
see, I thought the gameplay in 3. I thought the gameplay in 3 was great. I just thought 2 had a way better story and world.
It's like a story world, but also like it feels so. It's just kind of an empty game, man. Like like that whole vibe of it being. It's a world filled with characters, but it's not. It's a world filled with one character in one zone that talks to you.
Mm-hmm.
And then a bunch of enemies, and but it kind of tries to be MMO-y, right? Like, I logged into WoW today. There's there's Anduin, there's Jaina, there's some NPC vendors. There's like none of that shit in this game. It's just vending machine. Like, so I don't know. I kind of They did do that with Wonderlands. There is a town hub that has a lot of characters in it. So I just kind of hope Borderlands gets back to... It just needs something on the serious front. Like, it can still be a comedy, although they should abandon comedy.
I agree. They're not good at it. Yeah.
Unless they get better writers, they should abandon comedy. But let's just say it's... I think it was better as part comedy, part serious, like, get into this where there's a serious story to it. So I don't know, but my hopes are low, especially considering the way the movie went. You know,
they might surprise us. We'll see. But
I play another one. You know,
yeah, I'll definitely check it out. 2025 is how long you're going to wait, and they gave us no real details. It's just a teaser. Giant planet breaks through some force field, and then a thing crashes, and then the guy picks up a mask, and it's like, oh, it's a Borderlands mask of those crazy Mad Max dudes, and that's it. That's your teaser.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in 3 you get a ship and you get to travel a different planet, so I'm guessing it's no longer gonna be like on the desert planet, right? It hasn't been that since.
Which bums me out, because to me, I mean, I realize I'm biased in this regard, but I liked it when it was more wrecked civilization, Mad Max style, and I don't care for when it tries
Diablo.
to be
It's like if Diablo keeps taking place on Sanctuary, and it's chill.
Yeah.
But it's like if Diablo is like, you know what, we're in space, like we're going to all the planets, and it's like, we don't need this for Diablo, you know? It's like, and I don't think they need it for Borderlands. I think if they are going to go with that, like, not many NPCs kind of business, it should stay on the planet. You're on the shithole. You can't leave.
Yeah, that's the fun of it, you know, and trying to get out of there. Like, I don't want to go to other planets. That's stupid. So anyway, we'll see. 4 coming soon. How about Reanimal from the Little Nightmares people and THQ Nordic? Look at this thing.
And then shortly followed by Little Nightmares 3.
Yeah,
we can kind of talk about both of them because they were like, hey, from the people who brought you Little Nightmares. And they started showing this game, and I wrote in the show notes Little Nightmares 3 because it just looks like Little Nightmares to me. I never played it, so there's something distinctly different about how this looks versus Little Nightmares, I didn't recognize it. And so I was like, oh, and then it goes, oh, no, this is Reanimal. I was like, okay. And then shortly after that, they're like, oh, and also we're making Little Nightmares 3.
Yeah.
So, Scott, you're the expert.
Well,
Tell us about Reanimal and Little Nightmares.
I did play Little Nightmares, a little bit of 1 and all of 2 on stream. Did I finish it? I think I did. This looks a lot like that. And they're really good at this. Like the fact that they make basically 2D, they're not 2D games, they're 3D, but they're side scroller forced perspective often. That's not like full 3D roam around Resident Evil, village style. It doesn't work that way. But they're genuine scares, and they're really creepy. So my guess is this will be one of those, and it'll be really good at doing that. And so will the other game that looks a lot like it, known as Little Nightmares 3. So I don't know what distinguishes them. My first impression is that Reanimal looks like scale is a thing. So like you're real tiny, and these cliffs of wherever you're entering are gigantic, and there's close-up stuff, but also really an emphasis on large and environmental stuff. Other than that, it just seems less claustrophobic than Little Nightmares does. And Little Nightmares, part of why it's scary is because it's so damn claustrophobic all the time. It made me squeal a number of times. And if you like scary movies, then I guess sign up for both of these. They're coming your way. How about the first Berzerker? Okay, I almost said it the way my daughter said it. We have this thing in my house. When my daughter was little, she couldn't say Berzerker. She would say Berzerker, like Berzerker, like that. So we've teased her for years. And now we all say Berzerker just naturally.
Berzerker.
Because we think it's funny. Berzerker. So I almost did it here. But anyway, the first Berzerker, Khazan, looks pretty neat. What do you think?
I really like the look of this game. Like, I don't know if the game's going to be good.
Yeah.
That's always up for question. But as far as like a style and look, I think this game looks freaking cool.
Yeah, it does look cool. Is it a Souls-like? Is that what we're getting here? Another one of them?
I don't know.
I think it's third-person action. I mean, everything. It's like how everything's an RPG. Like Grand Theft Auto's an RPG because you can level a car or something. Like it's. I think they're probably going to lean into marketing that will say, Souls-like, that sells a lot, but I mean, I even noticed with Black Myth Wukong, they're like, it's kind of Souls-like, even just people saying that, right? Because to justify like they like it, and it's but it's a third-person action game. I mean, it looks. I don't know what to compare it to, but there's hundreds of titles that are in this genre of. World of Warcraft does this. I mean, you literally have a back of dude perspective, and you push buttons to attack things.
Yeah. The question is,
I'm watching gameplay. It has damage numbers and stuff. Like, it just looks like you attack things.
Yeah, I guess I just wonder if, like, this looks very deliberate, animation, uninterrupted, Souls-like-y stuff, and it seems like they're just going down that path. I'm not saying that's a bad path. It's obviously a very profitable path. Lots of games do it. It's, From Software is very influential in this regard, but I don't know if I want just another one of those. I kind of hope it's more action third person in the way that Horizon Zero Dawn was, or something a little more akin to, not just, I don't mean that it's just easier or more approachable. That's part of it, but I don't want something that's just like, oh, we're in a place and it's a boss at the end, and if I finish him, it'll say enemy failed, and then I'll keep going.
Yeah, I feel like you're right. The line between what is a third person action game and what is a Souls-like feels like it's blurring more and more, and it's becoming harder and harder to understand where one ends and the other begins. And I know for you, Scott, probably as someone that likes one of those and isn't the biggest fan of the other. That's probably, you're like, no, please make a clear distinction on this because it really weighs on my interest. Yeah. So it's hard to say. Like, what we're showing, what I ended up linking here was, I think, a lot of gameplay. The trailer that they showed was a little bit different, but I don't know. It could just be a third person action game, could be falling into the Souls-like vein. I do think the look and style is going to carry it a lot here, because I think it does have a really unique vibe to it.
I agree.
It has that anime vibe to it, like
a little bit. Yeah.
Like the actual Berserk like anime kind of, like it's to me it's more style than it is like this is a hard depressing game. Like I always sort of equate Souls-like to depression.
Sure.
This doesn't look depressing. It looks like you're a badass.
Yeah. Even if I play it on normal, but they give you an easy or story mode, I'll appreciate it, because that means they want lots of people to play it, and they keep other people in mind except for hardcores. And it doesn't even mean I'll play it on easy. It just means that I know the game is capable of respecting my time if I need it to,
Yeah, this doesn't strike me as a game. Like, I'm just watching some of the combat you linked, John. This doesn't strike me as a game that's like, you better learn to get good. It looks like, just block and dodge and hit, and you're going to be fine. Yeah. Like, I mean, I certainly hope not. It's not what I'm sort of expecting from this game. I don't play a lot of games like this, so when I see something I think is really cool in a genre like this, I get kind of excited to play it.
Yeah.
Like the I'm here for like the sick animation and cool shit.
Yeah, and it has that in spades. The other thing I was going to say is, what was it? I was going to say, I have questions that are similar to what I'm going to ask John about Wukong Monkey Boy game.
Wukong Monkey Boy.
Which John, we already took that.
If Scott didn't get a name off Michael Bean, he definitely earned it off of that. So,
well, he has Scott makes up a name, listener name gets bungled. He doesn't have bungle a game name on here, so
we didn't include it this week. All right, then I feel all right about that. All right, bingo saved. We only have one marked off right now, by the way.
Yeah, I got 4 marked off.
Oh, what did I miss? Did Beau already?
Scott makes up a name from both Michael Bean and now Wukong Monkey Boy.
All right. I did. Yeah, there
Mad Max Fury Road mentioned is marked off.
Oh, we mentioned it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he mentioned it with in conjunction with Borderlands.
Right.
And then Core goes off on a wild tangent, got marked because we did spend considerable time on something. I don't know.
We're dangerous on that 4th row down. We got video game industry layoffs, and if the show goes longer than 3 hours, we got to be careful on this one.
Oh, and my 4th one is Free Space. Although, what do you have that I don't have marked?
Where's the wild tangent?
Core After
Are you
Dark
using
from
the
Beau.
old one or the new one?
It's the new one.
Core After Dark from Beau. Is that Beau talks about something adult?
Yes, and he's already done it.
Wait, are you guys using the same bingo card, or Oh, we have different bingo cards.
We have different cards. I think it's the same things, but different positions.
Oh, that's even funner then. We all just do our own
thing.
thing.
Yeah, my bingo card ID is 16. Oh, shit. Okay, you guys got to share your bingo cards. Okay.
Yeah. I'm showing mine publicly, but I didn't.
Taz really went to work. Guys, I didn't realize it was that deep of a game.
Are we counting Core After Dark from Beau? Because really, I started the After Dark discussion.
Did you?
Beau just ran with it.
Yeah, but Beau took it to depths we were not expecting.
Actually, Scott ran further. He investigated the porn. I thought I was considerate, and I didn't want Scott's channel to get banned for nudity or anything like that. So
Beau actually reeled it in, if anything.
I was the adult this week, amazingly enough. That's
just your Ricky comment maybe put it over the top.
Pre-show doesn't count.
Oh, was that pre-show?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll take that one off. I'm taking it off.
Yeah. It's in the champagne room.
All right, we're moving on to what else?
Yeah. Okay, I feel like I have to explain why this next one is on.
Yeah,
here.
can you please do that?
I put on Delta Force Hawk Ops.
Yeah,
as an interesting,
worth talking about. Okay, let's hear it.
Yeah, why?
Okay, this is going to be stretching the definition of worth talking about to its absolute maximum.
Okay.
This trailer, as I watched it, I was like, why am I getting because these are the type of games I tune out and have zero interest in, right?
Yeah, military shooters.
I think they're boring and I have zero interest. And I was like, why am I getting like a warm, nostalgic feeling? And then I remembered I played the old Delta Force games and this reminded me of them.
Yeah.
And I was like, do I want to play this game? Because it reminds me of old games that I used to play.
Mm-hmm.
And I did. I played I don't remember exactly what they call it. They had Delta Force in the title.
Yeah.
I played this genre of game, this series, and I really liked it back in the day. I don't know if I would buy this. If it's on Game Pass, I might play it. I don't know if I'm ready to buy a Delta Force game again, but did either of you ever play any of these games?
Yeah, so one of the old ones we play in an office, we had LAN play. And I don't remember which one. I couldn't tell you. I can tell you the time. It was like 1998 or 7.
It's a long time. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was something like that. And we played it over the LAN. When we weren't playing Unreal, we were playing that. And so, among other things. And Counter-Strike as well. And we loved it. It was great. I liked it better than Battlefield, which was also a thing we played then. If I'm thinking of the right series. Yeah, go ahead, Beau.
Did the original have destructible environments? Because if on what John linked here at second 22, maybe 23, 24, there's destructible environments. Like a new kid's a building.
There is, but I don't think the old one did. I think the old one was a lot more static. In fact,
I remember the one I played. The big thing that was cool about it was if you looked through a scope, it actually magnified, and you were like, "Whoa!" It magnified within your window. You're like, "Oh,
yeah, it was cool."
It's like what's over there up close."
And
the technology.
The first part of the trailer, Beau, you'll notice the first it starts about 5 seconds in. They show a montage of the old games, and I absolutely remember playing those. Yeah, it's very much of its era, but that looks nice, and that destructible environment stuff's always interesting to me. So
the building does squish a guy, which I like.
Yeah, I'm not super into this kind of stuff, but you put destructible environments. Like if you give me a game that's just like, oh my god, everything's exploding, I'm all of a sudden interested. That looks cool.
Is Hawk Ops I hate the name. Can I say that? Hawk Ops?
Yeah.
Hate Hawk Ops.
but why? Why do you?
Freaking horrible name. But is it got a campaign? Because I'm more interested if there's a campaign than if there's.
I don't know. I only put it on the list because I like Chris Farling it. I was like, do you remember a game series called Delta Force?
Oh, hang on. It says here, transport back to 1993 for a Black Hawk Down campaign mode based on the classic Ridley Scott movie.
No way. I love that movie.
Is it transport back? Does it mean the modern game is set in 1993, or are we actually playing the old game?
No, I think he means it's set in the time.
Okay, then so it sounds like there's a campaign.
Yeah, and it looks like you fight. I forgot his name. Not Idi Amin. What's his name? Anyway, the guy that we were there to stop. That movie's so good, you guys. Oh, Black Hawk Down. What a movie that is. All right. You know what, John? I've turned around on this one. I might try. I might be interested.
Okay, it's okay that I put it on the list.
Yeah. It's just unusual for you to do. I think it's fine to put on the list no matter what, but me looking at it going, John put Delta Force Hawk Ops on here.
You can put whatever you want on the list, dude. It's cool. You won't I think the only way you would have disappointed us is if you put like something truly awful there. I can't even think of what,
I deleted a lot of stuff. You guys, I was putting everything on here, including like Genshin Impact DLC and stuff. And eventually I was like, this is like over 100 items. I got to just start erasing some stuff.
Everyone and their grandmother had an announcement. We can't, it doesn't all rise to the surface. You just missed one that I put on the list, which was Inzoi.
Oh yeah, I do want to talk about that. It's a little too. It looks porny, but we'll talk about it. Masters of Albion is interesting because this is the return of Peter Molyneux and his studio after a long absence after their stupid goddess or whatever the hell that was called. City
Did
Builder.
You see his presentation?
I did not. Okay. I have a lot I could say about that guy. He's fine, whatever. His legacy is a strong one. His recent year stuff have been real bad. Like Goddess was bad. That was a bad video game, free to play bullshit. They didn't even finish it. It's garbage. This looks like an interesting return to form. And what's funny is Albion, the location that this city builder / God sim thing is set in the same world as Fable.
Albion is the Fable.
I can't say words for some reason right now, but yeah, it's. Oh, look at the sandwich maker! I missed this the first time. He's making a pie. Oh my! All right. Anyway,
I don't know why the fact that rhymed really just jazzed me. God, all of a sudden rhyming about video games.
Yeah, that was weird. Anyway, but it reminds me of like, hey, what if you took something like Populous and then mushed it together with Black and White, another game by Molyneux and crew.
Yeah.
And that's this game. You got a big god hand. You're picking people up.
I love Black and White, but man, navigating with the hand was such a pain in the butt. And they're back to doing it. I'm like, please let it work a little bit better than it did in Black and White, please. Yeah. Like, it's cool, and I love being reminded of Black and White. Like, you want to talk about a video game that doesn't get remembered fondly enough. It also has a song that lives rent-free in my head. Like Black and White, so good.
It's so good. I spent most of my time throwing turds as the monkey, but still, I loved it.
I was constantly trying to teach my pet. This is horrible, but keep in mind, Black and White came out. I was very young. Mm-hmm. I was like, hey, I don't have to manage pet poo if I train my pet to eat their poo.
Because if they eat their own poo, they'll never starve again. Because that's how that works. Poo is perfectly fine thing to eat. Yeah, exactly. I can see why
it wasn't necessarily about it would fill him up. It was just like, I don't have to deal with cleanup.
Yeah.
He just cleans up. Like I pooped, and it's like when your cat throws up on the floor and then eats it. You're like, well, that took care of itself. Like, it's the same vibe.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about it. There's things about it where I'm like, oh, I'm third person fighting now in this little world. Do I really want to do that?
And it looks not great, but it also reminds me of old games I liked.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to be really curious how this lands. Like, I like some of the ideas and concepts. This is usually the case with a Peter Molyneux game. Like, it's out there. It's like, you want to make a sword out of bread? Like, go ahead and do it. And like, it's exciting. But at the same time, I don't like playing as the guy. It's like, oh, is this going to turn into a cool action game? No, it looks like he kind of just animates around real stiffly and you click to swing a sword awkwardly.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks terrible when you have it next to first Berzerker Khazan, right? Like, here's the fighting in this game. Now here's this derpy shit.
Yeah. It is a little derpy.
But I mean, it's still a good game can be made from this derpness. It's just the Molyneux factor. Is it going to be overhyped?
Yeah, it's been a while since we've gotten anything good out of him. So I feel like there's a chance here to do something special, or it might be garbage. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
There's some sneaky story about how he can use Albion as the background and not own Fable, because he doesn't own the rights to Fable. Microsoft does.
Isn't Albion a generic name that's used by a lot of properties, though?
I mean, Albion. So what's that MMO?
Albion Online, the MMO.
Right. Yeah, Albion Online. There's also what's the one we had, the Realm versus Realm MMO before WoW came out? It was like after EverQuest.
Dark Age of Camelot.
That's it. That was also called Albion. The land.
I searched Albion on Steam, and
it's an alternative name for Great Britain. That's why.
Oh,
that's why it comes up so much.
That must be why.
I knew it had to be something. I'm like, it gets used for like King Arthur stuff. It gets used for all sorts of things. I hear it all the time. It cannot be just Fable. So yeah, Albion is an alternative name for Great Britain.
I tried to play Albion Online once. That game just wanted me to cut down trees and hit rocks a lot. So
sounds like New World.
It's a little like New World, yeah.
It looked like a treadmill, keep busy MMO. Because everything in that game is economy driven. So of course, people who keep their computers on all day and have macros are going to outpace you, and it's just like, why bother? I'm going to play something else.
Yeah, there's something about the loop I do like, but I don't. But like what you just said is true, and it makes me hate it. So I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, when you realize you're outclassed, or you have to, if your life has to become this MMO, then you're just like, oh, okay, well, whatever.
Yeah. Let's move on to Lynked, spelled Lynked, Banner of the Spark.
You guys recognize this, right?
I recognize nothing about this, so tell me why I should recognize this.
I believe this is what we play tested.
Oh, is this the thing from?
Yeah, did you get a chance to get in there?
No, I didn't, because I can't remember what the deal was. It was one day, and I had to leave town and was like busy as hell, and I couldn't do it. So I never got a chance.
So
I think you're right.
Actually, John, did you play this?
No, isn't this the one I didn't get invited to? Everybody else did.
Oh, you didn't get an invite? Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I've played this.
Yeah.
Because I guess I don't know how the NDA works now that it's been announced, but I've played it in.
I think you can say that you played it.
Yeah. I think it's out now. So it was good. I didn't get that far into it. Like, I played the opening levels, and it's basically like V Rising, but like Mega Man-ish. Like, everyone has like an arm weapon tool. I had the bionic arm. I think you can get other items.
Yeah.
And like V Rising, you build a town, and it's multiplayer, and then you go out and missions together, and it's like Hades-like action. It's actually, I mean, I didn't get far, so it's like I didn't have full build online or anything. It seems like it has a progression deal going, but it's interesting.
This is the one they called Dreamhaven called it Project Saturn, which is why
it's Project Saturn. And I believe that, I don't know if it's Dreamhaven directly or a partner studio. Like, I don't, because like on the Steam page it doesn't mention Dreamhaven.
It's their sub studio, FuzzyBot. So you know how they have the two studios. FuzzyBot is the one that I think is Browder, Dustin Browder. No, do I have that wrong?
I thought it was Dreamhaven. No, I think that's a different one. The studios are Moonshot and Secret Door. So FuzzyBot's relationship to Dreamhaven, I'm not clear. So, but to be clear, the beta invite came through Dreamhaven. That's what they post. They posted publicly. If you want to test games, do this thing. And actually, during my fishing era, where I got fished by Discorax's account, he mentioned it was, gave me a heads up, like check our Twitter account. You can sign up. So we all signed up.
Yeah.
And I posted my feedback on the game.
Yeah.
So I dig the game. It's cool. I think it looks really neat.
Did you get the vibe of like MOBA style stuff? Is that the vibe or the feeling of it?
No, it's not MOBA. It's more like 4-player Hades is the best comparison that
Interesting.
I can give it. And it has cool combos. So the way it works is like I have a sword, right?
Yeah.
But if I use my bionic arm to hook a guy and pull him and then hit him with my sword, I do a lot more damage. So there's a lot of like combat puzzle business where like you use your different abilities in conjunction together. But like I said, I haven't done the multiplayer stuff, but the trailer shows like, the scope of it has a lot of biomes, it looks like, and the scope of the game I think seems pretty big. So it's interesting.
Yeah, now that I'm seeing the combat and you saying multiplayer Hades, I can see the comparison there. I think it makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, it's not roguelike. I think it's more a progression game. I mean, more like V Rising is probably a better comparison.
Oh, there you go.
Really V Rising has very good ARPG mechanics. This will probably much more controller friendly, I think, than V Rising.
Yeah.
It looks like it's aimed to release on all platforms. It's tough to say with a name like Lynked.
What do you think? It's got a bunch of farmer shit.
Yeah, I don't know about farming. Because I didn't really do the builder stuff, but you can definitely place buildings, and I imagine it'll have that kind of business in there.
Yeah, this looks like it had crops and stuff that you could put out there. I don't know how
it's not a survival game where you find a place in the world and set up shop. It's like you have a home base, probably maybe like Stardew Valley or something. Like you have a farm. I could call it a farm. You have a home base where you build shit, and then you go out on missions on different maps. So it's not the camp you're building or the town you're building isn't in the gate like the mission maps.
So this says no date. No, it does say a date. Coming to Steam Early Access this year, October 22nd, but it doesn't say if this is a free-to-play game. And I hate to say it, but just looking at it, it looks like a free-to-play game. Do we know that? We don't know that, do we?
I don't think it'll be free-to-play. I didn't see anything in the game suggesting...
So. Okay.
There was nothing in the game that looked like a free-to-play monetary system.
So the only reason I asked is because when I'm looking at the trailer here, there's a scene, or there's a part of this where a bunch of weapons come scrolling by. That looks like... There's something about that little bit right there where I just go, ooh.
Because we're programmed anytime somebody puts a line of video game items next to each other to go, how many crystals is this going to cost me?
If it's a gacha game, I mean, I just hope not.
I hope not.
Please don't. But like, the success of gacha games is a little undeniable, so I don't know.
Well, you saying that it played well has me, I have hope, so...
it played real smooth. It's nice. The art style, usually, again, this is the Fortnite style. Unfortunately, I didn't mind it that much in this use case, but it's not. It's probably my least favorite video game art style when everything looks like the Fortnite style. But it's not terrible. People like it. It's just not my. It's colorful and nice, and I like my art depressing and dark. And
right. You want it to be depressing, like a depressing game. So Dune Awakenings, the survival MMO got shown some updated stuff, a little bit of gameplay here and there. I remain open-minded about this one, mainly because I think Funcom did some pretty neat stuff with Conan. I love Dune as a universe, and I think that there's some cool ideas here. I don't know. I honestly, this is one where I really don't know until I see reviews or people breaking it down.
I would want to play with other people. I've played enough survival games. They can be so much more fun when you're kind of working with folks. So I kind of, it'd be kind of, a lot of these games like Valheim is like, it only supports 10 players at a time. So I can't really flip a server on and have the community come in and play. Tried it with Palworld, but I just don't think Palworld's that serious. But this game could be serious enough. You know what I mean? Like I just kind of want one of these games to pan out. And Dune's a rich world. It looks really cool.
Yeah, neat, really neat looking stuff. The interface is cool.
The player hubs look cool.
Yeah,
I think the biggest issue I have with something like this is all of these things are super cool when they are presented in an official capacity, pretending that it's going to work that way when it gets into players' hands, and then it never does. So like in this, they're like, hey, you're dropped on the planet, and now you come across another player. Are they friend or foe? They work out a deal where they'll give you this gun if you help them assault a base. And it's like, that's really cool in a presentation sense. That interaction is never going to happen. There's never going to be a time where a new player comes across the hill and is like, I'll tell you what, I have a good beginner gun, but you're going to have to work for our collective and go assault this base together. While you are up there sniping, I'll go in and hit him with a sword. Like, it's so cool to see, but it's not ever going to apply when actual human beings start playing the game. And that part always bums me out.
What the reality is, you get shot by the Ass Blaster 9000, and they teabag your body and take all your items. And
yeah, I mean the construction stuff. Like we're looking at some of that now. That looks serviceable. Like it doesn't look bad. It looks fine.
Yeah, and I mean to that point, what I'm saying doesn't make it a bad game. Like the fact that it probably isn't going to do what they say it's going to do doesn't immediately mean that it's going to be bad. But
aren't you just mad that this is just Dune, Arizona, though?
No, I mean, like, look, I saw sand. I saw a sandworm, so it does cover 100% of what I know about Dune.
Yeah.
This checks every box I know about the property. It has both boxes firmly checked, so this seems perfect to me.
When are you going to watch Dune Part 1 and 2 and then report back? When is this happening?
I don't know. I haven't read the books. I haven't seen the movies. I don't know. I know 2 things about Dune. Yeah. I know 4 things about Dune.
What's the other 2?
No, 5.
Okay.
Here's what I know. Okay. Here's 100% everything I know about Dune.
Go.
Desert planet.
Got it.
Sandworms.
Got it.
Weird thing in the nose.
Wait. Oh, the air thing. Okay. The Fremen and their water air thing. Okay.
Yeah, they drink their own pee.
Yeah.
Okay. People put their hands in boxes.
Yep, they sure do.
And people have weird blue eyes.
Okay, you're right.
That's 100. That's it. There's
don't even
nothing
know
else
spice?
I know about it.
You haven't picked up on the
okay,
spice?
shit. Yeah, I do know that drugs are called spice, right?
Well, not drugs, but
it's not drugs. Whoever controls the spice controls the galaxy.
It's spice.
Okay, well then I don't know what the hell spice is. I know it's there.
Arrakis is filled with this spice. Part of the reason spice exists is because the worms excrete shit, and that's where you get the spice.
Does it make food taste better?
No, they call it spice, but it makes intergalactic travel possible. So but there's a whole thing about how there is no. This is going to sound weird, but the worlds of Dune have all agreed through various treaties to not use artificial intelligence of any kind, because there was a war that just about wiped out humanity.
So it's a glimpse to our future.
So these guys are all.
We all agree.
It's all stuff that's like organic now, or kinetic, or otherwise somewhat magical in some cases. I mean, it's a really rich sort of deep tapestry. Here's what I think you should do: watch the 2 Villeneuve movies, Part 1 and Part 2. Just watch them with your wife; she'll love it. They're amazing films.
She's seen it. She's seen the first one at least. I don't know where I was. It wasn't in the room.
That's a long time not be in the room. It's like 3 hours or something.
Yeah, I don't know when she did it.
Well, he was playing Final Fantasy 14. Probably.
It could be for the second time.
Yeah, it's worth doing at some point. But yeah, the game has. I'm interested. We'll have to see how it goes. Let's talk about Inzoi. So, Beau, you added this. I've been curious about it. Inzoi looks like a Sims.
I'm with you. Say your
Sims
comment now about it being porn.
Well, it's like Sims for adults is kind of what I'm getting the vibe of here. And then maybe there's
I think what's happening is that the characters look like all the characters from Steam porn games.
Yeah.
Oh, they do. Look at that.
Yeah, like they have that like very realistic but glossy look. Like this is the character creator for all those. What was it? I'm a dick, or what is it?
I don't think that was called
like Chicken Dick or something like that.
Sorority sisters do it well, and
like all those
3D modeled like.
Yeah, you just like it's like just so it so screams that because that's what you've seen, and you go, okay, that's clearly an adult title. I don't want to look at that, or I do want to look at that. So that's kind of working against it. Oh my god, I just went to the adult section just to see a few images. And there's a new orc game, you guys, called Orc Covenant, gay barra orc visual novel.
Sweet.
And it's like a Warcraft-ass looking orc, and I'm like, oh my god.
Wonderful.
But I'm going to remind you to be careful because you have a screen capture on.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, is it showing orc penis? I just saw a giant one.
No.
No, not yet.
Great. Okay, so anyways, but yeah, it has that look of, and so I'm assuming a lot of people don't play those adult games and won't have that baggage looking at this stuff. Because that being said, it's like a very, this is like, it looks like mega Unreal Engine 5 metahuman characters, right?
Yeah.
Like it's really goes nuts. On social media, I've seen like Billie Eilish and Timothée Chalamet character creations that are pretty uncanny.
Yeah.
So I think like
the tools look crazy.
There's a certain type of gamer. There's a subgenre. I think our algorithms probably don't show it to us, but I did do a rabbit hole once on The Sims.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not your usual gamers. These aren't like neckbeards going like, man, I love The Sims. A lot of them are like middle-aged, like clean house people.
Yeah.
You know, like they who love The Sims. Like it's just a different style of
house people.
Clean house.
Yeah,
people.
like they have the iHouse. You know what I mean? Like they have like nice furniture, and you know they kind of got like you know your place looks nice, but it's filled with nerd shit on your back corner. Like that's not the aesthetic.
Yeah,
it's like we've got IKEA mugs and we've got nice chairs. Like it's like proper adults who don't really game, except The Sims is cool, and it's cool if you play it 18 hours a day. But just The Sims, you know what I mean? Like
I gotcha. I
get it.
Yeah. There's this whole like Sims community of people who love playing Sims 4 and shit like that. And I think this, we're not going to look at Inzoi and go like, this is an amazing video game. But I think all the people that love The Sims, and I think there's an audience for it, are just gonna.
No, my daughters are losing their mind over
this game. Yeah, like it's just like like I'm looking at all the outfit options and they look fantastic. Like this game, who's making Sims now? Is it EA?
EA,
yeah.
I think they're like shit in the bed right now because this company is gonna. I think this is set up to like kind of pwn them pretty hard. Except they got to change the title. Like, what is it, Inzoi? Like, come on,
it's not even Inzoi's a Korean word. Terrible name. Yeah, who came up with that? Is it a Korean studio? This is for this.
I believe it's a Korean developer. It's Crafton. I don't know. I think Crafton's Korean.
Oh, I thought he was Canadian.
I thought he was Canadian. Yeah. Shit.
John,
I see Korean.
John and I were in the Joke Olympics there, and one of us got across the finish line before the other one. No, this seems really intensely detailed, and my kids are going to lose it because they love this crap. I know Taylor's already mentioned it, but I don't think Carter's seen this. I should mention it to her because she'll.
Yeah, I mean, it looks sick. Like it's just I'm not a big fan of this genre, but even I'm like, ooh, they're really like this looks like what I imagine Sims 5 would look like, but except Sims isn't doing it. So
yeah, I don't think they're. I don't know what they're doing with the Sims. Are they just keeping 4 as like a platform now and building on that?
Well, 4 is like a ton of DLC, right? And I think a lot of people. I think there's a pretty heavily invested modding scene in it too. And when you got something that makes money, you don't make another one. Just look at World of Warcraft. There's no World of Warcraft 2 because World of Warcraft's still doing numbers, right? So I think probably Sims 4 is there's just I'm assuming there's no energy to make a Sims 5, or if they do, it's in development.
I think they are making one. I think they made Sims 4 free to play the day they announced that they're working on Sims 5.
Oh, so that is coming then.
I think they were day and date on those announcements.
Okay. But they haven't showed us any gameplay of Sims 5.
No, I think it was just like, hey, y'all, Sims 5.
If I had to guess, though, Sims 5 will probably continue on the cartoony style because that's what's working for them. And I think it's probably also easier, but Inzoi is definitely, like I said, the fake porn, the porn game art style.
Oh, for sure. It feels like Unreal 5 stock art is what it feels like to me. Yeah. I know it isn't. That's too simple to say that, but it looks.
No, I know what you mean. Like you go to those places where you can buy royalty-free assets and everything just looks like the same model, but with minor changes.
Yeah, it's very weird. All right, well, that's the big stuff. Let's go over a couple of Overwatch style games. Here's our category we'd like to talk about. Predecessor, another Overwatch kind of game from the remnants of Paragon.
I think it might just be Paragon.
Is it just Paragon?
I was watching it. I think it has towers.
They've renamed it. They shut down Paragon. They've brought it back. It's now called Predecessor.
So did they sell this to somebody, or is Epic doing it?
No, they gave it a worse name. Yeah, it was sold off. Epic doesn't run it anymore.
Okay.
So it's sold off, I think, to fans of the game who are trying to revive it. And I guess I wish them well. But
this looks all right. This looks cool.
The game was kind of just okay.
Yeah.
But it really does look like the game I played. Like I'm looking at this and I'm like, oh, they changed things. Like there's new heroes, but like the map, the towers look the same. Like and even the markers and stuff. So I don't know what they've changed. Maybe they got something hot on their hands. Who knows? But it is kind of a relaunch of Paragon.
2 million players on the battlefield. How can that be?
Well, they made an account at one point.
Oh, I see.
Oh no, I think they're probably I don't know if they're counting daily logins, but yeah, as John said, they made an account and left the game after 10 minutes.
Yeah, I was like, there aren't that many people on that battlefield because I don't think that's possible. But whatever. What do I know?
No, that would be more people playing that's like about as many people playing Wukong Monkey Boy.
I can't wait to hear about that game. There's also MechaBreak, which I think we talked about this, but it's like mechs, but it's team-based shooter. Did we talk about this?
Yeah.
Maybe it's first.
No, we didn't. Trixler has been going nuts on Twitter about that one.
This seems neat. Is this the same trailer I saw? I think it's the same trailer I saw. It's not coming to PlayStation. Weird, or at least not initially. Yeah, I like mechs and I like shooting stuff, so this might be a combo I would get into.
But it's definitely a third person. It looks like third person action. It's not the in the mech and you have to turn.
I've seen a couple things in the footage Scott's scrubbing through that I liked.
Yeah, there's some butts.
I'm gonna say exactly what it was. But,
yeah, there's a couple of butts I noticed.
Really went for something outside of the mech suit.
Yeah, they called the Inzoi people and said, "Can we borrow some of your butt models?" And
there's butts in this.
Well, they're lady butts.
Surprisingly, yes. I didn't think there would be, but
yeah, it's the first Descendant crossover we didn't know we wanted.
Yeah, nobody knew. But so there's that. Also, Marvel Rivals got a date. It's December 6th. So I still think.
Can I say I'm continuing to get weirdly hyped for Marvel Rivals?
I think it's hilarious because you started in the basement on this one. Okay?
Yeah, if I end up playing this, it's like the comeback of the century.
You know, John, while you wait for Rivals, Overwatch, water's warm in Overwatch.
No, I don't want to play Overwatch.
I
don't care. I don't care how many Sylvanas skins they put in there. I have to play the game for the Sylvanas skin to matter.
Yeah. Sylvanas skin's coming.
Yeah.
And you have to play Widowmaker, though. That's the only unfortunate thing.
Well, okay, there's two problems. One, I don't play Widowmaker.
Yeah,
Two, I don't play Overwatch.
Yeah. These are both problems.
There's two-tiered problems, and the one bleeds into the other.
But, you know, sometimes it's the start of a good thing. I played a lot of League before I played Heroes. You know, you might
I was tempted by the Diablo 4 skin. Hold on. I was tempted by the skin in Diablo 4 because
you didn't hear that, Beau? Hold on.
Play Diablo 4.
How did Beau not hear that? How did you not hear?
I just got it. The ship just landed. I got it.
Oh man, how's that not come up before? Diablo 4 skins. Jeez. Yeah, sorry, because you might actually play Diablo because you like Diablo.
Can we get it? Can our new monthly core art be an interpretation of the Diablo 4
skin?
Oh gosh, I don't know if that's
like
a
store
idea.
with multiple skin.
Diablo
seems like a bad idea.
Decided to clip it off when he was born.
But yeah, Rival.
Everyone stays show cleaner title. That way.
Show title, Diablo 4 skin.
Show title. Yeah.
So, but John, so you started in the basement. You've worked your way up. Where are you now? Compared to like total hype on this, are you gonna...
If it was available for like a demo right now, I would download and install it tonight.
Jeez, you really have come a long way.
I kind of want to try it. There's something
Overwatch
about it.
I don't kind of a demo of Marvel Rivals.
No, it isn't.
All right, listen. I'm just trying to fill out my bingo card. Okay, John rants about Blizzard Overwatch is there, and
do you have it? I don't have that. Do I? Let's see.
Yeah,
I don't have that one, but I did have John does an impression. I did technically just do Deckard Cain, so
all right. Well,
get it checked off.
I don't have that.
Mark your cards, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, here it is. I have John rants about Blizzard or Overwatch. Bam, top row.
Oh, he didn't do it though, did he? Or
hell yeah, he did. He hates Overwatch.
Okay.
I mean, it's a mini rant, but it was like he's like I don't. he's like my favorite thing you've said today is first of all I don't play Widowmaker, and second of all I don't play Overwatch. That's an amazing thing to say. I love that.
I think that sometimes people think we lean into it a little bit.
Yeah.
But I will say Beau invited Scott and I to play Overwatch 2 one night.
Yeah.
And it was in our private Discord. It wasn't for entertainment or for the show.
Yep.
He just was like, hey, if you guys want to play some Overwatch 2, I'm in right now. And I told him I would rather drink lemon juice and razor blades than
that's right.
and play that video game.
I was like, well, okay then.
Yep. That was just for me and Beau. That wasn't for anybody else to hear.
I mean, now it's for other people.
Sure.
Now you can mark off your bingo card.
Yeah.
But that was not performative. That was my genuine answer to the invite.
Well, speaking of genuine answers to things that you're all stoked about, you're probably excited about Path of Exile 2, early access date announcement that happened. How do we feel about this? PoE 2. I'm
excited now. Yeah. I didn't know that I was going to be. I certainly didn't expect to be here.
If the game's long, you might not even be able to play Marvel Rivals.
Oh, yeah, man. It's true. I don't know. I might have to juggle Path of Exile 2 and Marvel Rivals.
Yeah. But so this is yet another one of these games where you started kind of way down and now you're up the hype meter.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's fine. There's nothing wrong with any of this, but
it looks really good. Did you watch the footage of it? It looks cool.
I've only seen this trailer thing. I haven't seen gameplay footage. Is there some gameplay footage in this trailer? Hold on.
I think so.
There is a little bit.
There's a bunch of fighting bosses and stuff.
Oh, yeah. It looks good. I mean, I'm glad that they changed their minds about just adding on to one. I think the game deserves to get a new treatment, new graphics, new all that stuff. I mean, that's exciting. So I wasn't. Oh, let me put it this way. I wasn't at all hyped about it until you started getting into it, and then now I'm thinking about it. So it's your fault. Nice job.
And they put in damage numbers too.
Oh, so, Beau. Oh, shit.
I was already interested in PoE too, so that I'm not currently playing it, so I don't really talk about it, but I do like PoE.
Okay, let me ask a philosophical question though. This is a game known for having this giant spider web of a build tree, and everyone says, "Oh, go with the build or you won't be happy." John heard that when he was playing. Yeah. And even now you got into a point in the game where you're like, "Oh, I probably ought to start thinking about a build." So can 2 do anything to make that less of a requirement? Because I would love it if I could just go in, and I guess I can, but I don't
can. And I'm in a way, I think that's what makes the new start to 2 exciting. Is you go in and there isn't a guide. It's like, well, I'm going to be, you're on the Oregon Trail. You're on the frontier.
Yeah.
You're at the head of this. Nobody can tell you where to go. Nobody can tell you you're wrong. You just go through and you blaze your own trail. And then the next time you play through, you go, well, I'm going to do a build because boy, did I get into some bupkis territory here.
I mean, the game is going to be seasonal based anyway, so the way, I don't want to say the correct way to play, but if you're playing and doing builds, you're probably doing seasonal plays. So you get better at the game every season you invest in. If you're a more casual player who just wants to play the campaign at launch, you'll be fine. You don't got to follow a build. Okay. I think that's probably true in PoE 1 as well. If you're just like, I just want to do the campaign shit and I'm out, you probably don't need a build.
Yeah,
you probably.
I was doing fine with my literally first given to you skill build. It was carrying me just fine through the game.
Yeah.
Same in Diablo. Like if you do the campaign, you're fine. But if you start doing Nephilim Rifts and you're up there in like tier 75 to 100, some shit's just not going to work anymore, and you're going to have to do a proper end game build to push that content. That's just how these games work.
Yeah. I think they should do a copy. They should do a copy and paste method like WoW has for talents now. I would love that in Diablo. Just go to
Diablo doesn't have copy and paste, but you can see everyone's builds on the leaderboard.
Yeah. I can go manually do it. It's not a big deal, but I would love to be able to just replace it all and have it do it. I like that in WoW a lot.
Think that they would do something to make builds easier in Path of Exile 2. Maybe they won't, because maybe people think it's too fun to go through hoops. But I know for loot filters, which is another very important Path of Exile thing, they've integrated that stuff into the game where you can literally just download a file from the website and auto apply the filter and not have to set it up yourself. So nice. Some of that automation is in there for PoE 1. And so I would think that knowing that that's what was done in PoE 1, they might lean into it with PoE 2.
Yeah, I would think their quality of life stuff would carry over. So we shall see. Also, Goat Simulator Remastered. I don't know why they're doing that. It's fine.
I thought the trailer was kind of funny because I feel like one of those was a direct reference to Arthas, this incredibly ugly king character in the trailer.
Yeah. It's
have you guys? It was a weird trailer.
Have either of you played one of these? Have you?
I have, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think of Goat Simulator? Is it fine? I mean,
I think it is a perfect game for the target audience that they have.
Because really, it's just a chaos simulator.
My kids think it is the funniest thing in the world.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like,
I'm torn on it.
It's dumb. It's just dumb fun. Like you just. It's not a great game. It's maybe not even a good game.
Yeah.
But you just get in and you do stupid shit as a goat and you laugh and then you go, boy, that was, 15 minutes well spent.
Now, on this list of other stuff, is there anything you want to make sure we mention? Indiana Jones needs to be mentioned because The Great Circle was originally supposed to be Xbox and PC exclusive. It is now coming to PS5, despite things Phil said earlier this year. So now it's coming to everything. I think that's actually a good thing. Fanboys are losing their minds, but whatever. December 9th. So we have a release date for the hot new shooter / whipper. Is it a whipper? WPS.
It is a whipper. There's whipping.
FWS.
Oh, whip. Okay.
Yeah, like whip, like he's got a whip.
I kept thinking work in progressor, and I was like, what?
Oh, weird. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
This is, let's see if I can pull this up here. This trailer.
I mean, I hope it's good. I'm rooting for it.
Yeah, I am too. I really want this to be great.
Yeah.
I always felt like, there's always this little feeling of, in the light of Nathan Drake or even Lara Croft early on, where I was like, this is Indiana Jones's territory. What are you doing, dicking with, aping this and then doing your own game with your own characters? Like, can't you get Indiana games to be just as good as these? And then maybe we'll finally get that, Oh, look at all this mocap. They're showing some mocap.
Yeah, this
stuff.
trailer was very like Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, brought to you by Troy Baker.
Yeah. I mean, he's doing a really good impression of him, so.
He is doing a fantastic job, and I like Troy Baker, but it was very much like, hi, I'm Troy Baker. Let me tell you about my history with Indiana Jones and all the things I did with Indiana Jones. And it was just, I don't know, it was just a little weird.
It's meant to be personal, I guess.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I partly wish still that this game was a third-person game. I don't know if I want it to be first-person. I don't know why I'm hung up on that, but
they keep telling me that I want it first-person, and I keep going, but I don't think I do. But every trailer or every time somebody comes out and talks about it, they're like, "And we made it first-person because it's important that you are Indiana Jones."
Yeah.
And in the back of my mind, I go, but I'd still be him in third person, though.
Yeah. That's corporate shit, right?
Yeah.
We gotta say it in a way that makes you want to buy the game.
Yeah.
Ignore realistic conversation about games.
Definitely feels that way. The other one that jumped out at me is I'm a big fan of the Mafia series, and they have a game coming up called Mafia: The Old Country. We take it back to Italy. And Bob Boss stuff in Italy. That's very exciting to me. So if they can recapture what I loved about Mafia 2 in particular, and even 3, a lot of people didn't like 3. I thought 3 was great. It was a really interesting setting, Vietnam era, 60s, just a strange time to set it in, but I really liked it. And it was a great alternative to the GTAs of the world. So I have high hopes for Mafia: The Old Country. Also, Fatal Fury: City of Wolves. This is a pure fighter, or is this something else? Hold on. What is this?
I don't know. This other stuff was stuff that I thought you guys... I didn't think it looked so bad that I would just be like, I'm just going to put it down here. And even some of the stuff that I put down there, I had second thoughts on. But
it was just another fight. Like, if you like fighting games.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks just like a fighting game.
It looks cool, though. And I always wanted to be a Fatal Fury guy. I always thought, one of these days I'll say that I like that. But, you like Street Fighter? Well, I like Fatal Fury. It's way cooler, and all the cool kids like Fatal Fury. I remember feeling that way back in the day, but never playing it. So maybe this is the one to play. I don't know.
You were ready to be a counterculture kid.
Yeah, I was with a lot of game stuff. I still am in some ways, I think. Depends on the game, but anyway, that's the thing. Also, a Dragon Ball Z game. Moving on. Just kidding. John, do you have anything to say about Dragon Ball?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't really have much to say in any of this other stuff.
All right.
I just thought you guys might. So
no, it's all good. Zombies, Black Ops 6. It has zombies. We got Dying Light, The Beast. They're basically turning Dying Light into more of a shooter. I like Dying Light. I've talked about it before on the show. I've never beaten Dying Light 2, but I sure try every once in a while. And this looks good. I mean, if you want to have a little more shooter in your zombie thing, then...
I still continue to be baffled when they put a trailer out with zombies in it.
Yeah.
It's like the same way I felt when we were on like our 100th Call of Duty set during World War II, and then somebody was like, World War II again.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. We really need to stop treating this like it's a landmark thing. And people keep trying to come up with new ways for me to get excited about zombies. And that ship has just sailed so long ago.
Yeah.
We're not ready for the return trip yet.
Well, they tried to do Vampires Redfall, and look at that turned out. Maybe what you want is zombies, you know?
Maybe.
But I was excited for Redfall. I wanted it to be a good game, though.
Yeah.
I mean, truth be told, I could be excited for a good zombie game, but, you know, it's hard to tell because it's just like, hey.
There's just so much of it.
Zombies.
It's not like, oh my God.
Yeah.
What if we're in a world where people eat other people, but the true villain is the people that don't eat other people?
Speaking of Troy Baker, he's all up in that the second one. What did I just call it? Dying Light 2. He's your main guy. Beau, I want to talk about VR for a second. Not just because
VR time.
Not just because I have a slot.
Mark it off early.
Let's do it right now. Hold on, where is it? VR.
I got a VR square.
I have a VR square. Beau, they showed more of that Batman Arkham VR deal. Does it intrigue you? Are you like, oh yeah, finally the Dark Knight?
So I think I missed this. Was that during the show?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
during Gamescom. Yeah.
Okay, because I didn't actually. I feel like I watched the whole show, but I didn't actually see that footage. So let me just have a look now.
Yeah, it was from. So we knew about the game, obviously, but this was all new, like gameplay and stuff.
I mean, this is on. I've wishlisted this already on Meta. So it's this Behemoth, and there might be one other one that I'm like looking forward to. I think also Valve is working on another VR game. But
are they? Or you
yeah,
just think they
confirmed,
are.
But yeah, I'm sure they're making another Alex. There was something that happened actually. But anyways, let's stick to Batman for now, because I don't really remember what happened. But something happened.
Something happened.
Guys, something happened.
It was like there's job posting or something. There's some VR related thing that got noticed for that. But it's like also not a secret that they're working on VR.
Yeah. No.
I mean, the Alex was a cliffhanger.
Sure.
It ended with a cliffhanger. Although that doesn't stop them from not making a game. But
yeah,
this looks dope.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know about that UI element at the top, but it looks like what this looks like to me is they're taking the Arkham games, like what Assassin's Creed done with the loop of Assassin's Creed and VRifying it. Looks like they're doing that here with Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Looks cool.
Yeah, it seems neat. The thing you mentioned in the UI reminds me, for some reason, it reminds me of Metroid Prime up there. I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, it might not be a bad thing. It's just looking at UI is a real. UI is still an unsolved problem in VR.
Yeah.
You know, like not only because your eyes have to focus differently to see UI, like if it's just floating on the screen. So usually UI is like best, like in Half-Life Alyx, you look at your wrist and you see your health and your elements. There's no actual like HUD because you have to refocus your eyes to look at the way it works out somehow. You always have to and it's uncomfortable and it sucks.
Yeah.
If it's there as like window dressing, like in the Iron Man game, because like you're in the suit and there's like shit popping off, you don't have to pay attention to it. It's just flavor.
Yeah.
So I don't know about the UI. That's why I say like UI, like it needs to be on the wrist, or just don't put UI in the game, please. But the game looks cool, man, and probably not going to be spiders in this game. That's great.
No.
And it looks like I can sneak up behind people and not kill them because I'm Batman.
You're Batman.
So I'm not going to be murdering anybody. But
does the game end with Harley Quinn shooting you in the face in VR?
I hope so. Or like they used to cut the scene when you die in Arkham Asylum. Is that what you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about the way they killed Arkham Batman.
Oh, wait. How'd they kill? Oh, did they do that? Yeah. Where? In which? Where?
Suicide Squad kill the Justice League.
Oh shit! I forgot that happened. Completely.
I don't think this is going to be like canonical to whatever happened with that other shit.
No, probably not. That'd be funny though if they felt like they had to keep it canonical and like carried it over.
If it can, and it just ends with that.
That'd be bad.
The only rough thing about this game, I think that I have a bit of misgivings over, is it's going to be a meta exclusive, which means graphically there won't be a better PC option, so it might look like shit. But it's hard to tell. VR quality really ranges, and there are no firm standards.
This looks real nice on video. I can say that. Looks real good.
Yeah, well, but it's not blown up and in your eyeballs. Like that's
true. Yeah,
the VR stuff is always hard to grok whether it's going to look good in the headset or not, depending on how what the performance is like actually in the headset. So,
I wanted to make a mention of this just because John put a very sarcastic entry for it, and I'm not even saying I'm that excited about it. But Starfield teased a car like a Moonbuggy and an expansion. But the Moonbuggy, funny enough, so I said
the trailer was for the car.
The trailer's for the car.
It was sarcastic a little,
John,
but it's also just true.
Wait, back the car up a second. John put Batman in stuff that seemed not great.
Yeah, because it's VR, so there's zero chance I'm gonna play it, and they've already killed Arkham Batman, so who cares?
Yeah, right. No, that's a fair point.
Okay, you made the list, so yeah, that's fine.
But
I just noticed. I was like, no wonder it didn't jump out at me. I skipped this list. I was like, I don't want to look at the garbage.
So I have this friend.
I
have this friend named Morgan who has that tryptophobia or whatever it's called, where if you see a bunch of little holes in things, it just really weirds you out. I forgot the name of it.
That tire's gonna be bad.
Yeah, so I sent her a picture of that tire just to be a jerk, and she's like, "Yep, that's terrible. That's awful." So so beware anyone watching this right now.
It's a holy tire.
Yeah, it's very holy.
Look, when astronauts went to space, they had a bunch of holes in their tire, and they didn't suffer from tryptophobia.
No, they
that
sure
criticism is invalid.
Yeah, but
is that based on real design, or is that just like style that they like sci-fi bullshit?
It seems like sci-fi bullshit to me, but I could be wrong. I love the idea of a Moonbuggy getting around on those planets a lot faster would be nice. But yeah, as much as I actually think there's nothing, I like Starfield. I've said it before and I stick with it, but it's hard for me to get too jazzed about it right now. I'm just not, it's not caring.
It's.
And look, I shared with you guys, somebody wrote an article saying all 5 of you can download a car in Starfield now. My comment was not by any stretch the meanest comment about the car. And for what it's worth, I have heard people who are fans of the game, they exist, I guess, who have said that this is a game changer and like awesome. And I can kind of see that because tooling around on planets sucked. So a better way to do it would be better. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. It doesn't change the fact I don't even think I wrote anything sarcastic. I said Starfield teased a car, and that is true. That is what the trailer was for. It was for a car.
That's what's funny. You're right. You didn't say anything sarcastic, so even me, a fan of the game, read that truth, and I felt the sting of it, because the truth isn't great.
The truth is they showed a trailer about a car. That's what they did.
Yeah, it's hard to get stoked about that. Okay, what else is worthy of talking about here?
I don't know if we need to talk about the games, but I do think it's interesting that Netflix games are actually getting exclusives now. There were 2 games shown that are, near as I can tell at least, exclusive to Netflix games.
Yeah, they got a couple like that. Well, Oxenfree 2 is exclusive, I think, because they bought that studio after Oxenfree 1 came out, and now those 2 games are on Netflix as a part of the service. I think that might be an example of it, but I think you're right. This might be like the first. Well, that's not true. They have some games that are exclusive based on Stranger Things as well.
Oh, okay.
So they do have that.
Monument Valley 3 and Squid Game are coming out. It seems like those are Netflix exclusives.
Yeah, and this Squid game looks Squid Gamey. I don't know what to make of it. It looks like it's an elimination type thing. These will play on mobile and desktop because they have a desktop beta right now. They look like what was it? Was it Wipeout? Not Wipeout. Yeah, Wipeout. Not the car racing game, but the Wipeout like competition thing. This looks like kind of that gameplay wise.
Yeah, it seems fine.
Yeah, it seems all right. It's like, you know what it is? It's playing off the popularity of the Fall Guys. game.
Yeah, it seems very Fall Guys-y as well.
Yeah. And this is a very popular series, so it makes sense they're trying to monetize this. One last one I wanted to mention is this thing called Arena Breakout Infinite, and you put WTF as this name. I hate that name. That's a terrible name.
It's the worst name for a video game I've heard in a long time.
Yeah, and especially for what it is. It's like an arena shooter, like Modern Warfare tanks and guns shooter, like military-looking shooter. It's a worse name than the Hawk one. What's it called? Hawk Tuah. No. Hawk Ops.
Delta Force Hawk Tuah.
Yeah. Oh, I hate that thing.
This looks like let's get a list of top keyword searches for games and just put as many as we can into a name.
I don't like it.
Shovelware for sure.
It's pretty though. Like if this is actual gameplay footage, it looks nice. It's all right. And I like
part of a series, or
I don't think so. But I like tactical shooters. I remember playing the old Rainbow Six games, where you plan them all out and you'd sneak around in those ghillie suits and you and your friends on a LAN could do
Ding
it.
Chavez.
Yeah, dude.
What's the Infinite about? You know?
I don't know. It says, let's see, an Arena Breakout Infinite. What's the Infinite part?
It's forever.
Okay, and the Breakout part is a little ball you hit to take out the bricks up top.
Yeah.
And then Arena.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be the ball game. The ball,
that's what it sounds like. It sounds like Arena Breakout Infinite sounds like they're trying to play with the nostalgia of people who love Breakout.
A Breakout game style is that,
I think just Arena. Breakout, right? I think it was just called Arena Breakout and lose the Infinite. I'm in. Or I'd be more in. I'm not in. But.
A footage of a game from 1976 called Breakout, and that's literally what the game is.
Yeah. Do you remember Breakout? I love Breakout. Well, what was the one? There was another game like Breakout called something Zoid or Noid. Arkanoid.
Arkanoid, yeah.
Arkanoid was awesome. Freaking loved Arkanoid. Yeah. My SNES, my Super Nintendo.
Oh, yeah, I played Arkanoid. That was a big one on one of the consoles. I might have even had it on PC, I think, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had Arkanoid on PC. I remember.
Yeah,
my uncle would hook me up with all the games from his BBS.
Yeah,
you'd log onto the BBS and you'd get like the illegal shares.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I definitely had this game on like a floppy, I think, or something like that.
Yeah. I was super into it at the time. Back to VR for one quick second. I'd forgotten. I meant to put this in here and totally spaced it. PCGamer reviewed PlayStation VR2's PC adapter. They only gave it a 65. They said it was easy, but it's got issues. DisplayPort, not HDMI, separate power supply, niche appeal, but they said it connected easy and it was a smooth setup. So, Beau, if you were in the market for said headset.
This is the PC. This is the PSVR.
PSVR 2 connected to the PC adapter they put out for it. So you can run it on PC now.
It's so hard to even. It's nice that they did that. It's great for the owners, but it's so hard to recommend it when Quest is so easy. With Airlink, I don't even have to hook it up. Like I can just can just do wireless connection to my PC now. It's pretty great.
It's pretty good. Their summation sums it up pretty well. It says PlayStation VR 2 PC adapter. If you've already got the necessary kit, PS5, PSVR 2 gaming PC that hits all the right specs, and you love VR, then this adapter makes sense. But for the vast majority of PC gamers, a Quest or Index would probably be better until a firmware update makes it truly great. So there's that.
I think it's just the Airlink. Like I was always like, no, I'm going to wire it so I can ensure better quality. But honestly, it's so convenient and the quality's the same.
Yeah.
That I'm like, I never want to wire. It sucks having, you want as few wires on your headset as possible because of the way VR works, right? So, yeah.
That's what I hear. That's what I've heard. No, it's all good. Moving on to talk about the games.
I put a little note in there. I'm wondering if we can run our break a little early.
Oh, we can do it now if you want.
I think we have a lot to talk about in games, and we're at 9:30.
Yeah, no, let's do it. We're all going to go pee now. So take a break, everybody. Go pee. We'll be back in a moment with more of this here show. Stay tuned.
Tunneling Coraline.
Okay.
You pull it over yourself like a human-sized condom.
Perfect. It's an armor piece.
Ideas are great.
Yeah, these are all a hood. It's a bit of a hood, if you will. It's a mount, says Jerry Tolbert. I don't want
on it. It's like a flying carpet.
Yeah, I don't want that. That's a horrible idea. I do not want that. Yeah. Sack race. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. All right, where are we here? Oh, I know. We're right here. Okay.
Right.
We're back.
So if the break took longer than 5 minutes, so if that's the thing.
Yeah, I've already marked mine. Did you mark yours? Do you have that one? I have that one. Okay.
I'm just letting our recorded listeners know so they can, because the break gets cut, right?
My wife, she had to tell me something. She's like, this, and this. And I went, and I kept looking at my watch. And she goes, you all right? What's the matter? What's the deal? She goes, you're on break. And I said, I know, but, and then I tried to explain. That's what made me late, was me explaining that we have a bingo card for how long the break goes. And it didn't.
Just take your break like normal. If it goes over, we're not trying to avoid giving X's, right? It's not a challenge to us to do the things we're known to do. Although John's point about, leaning into it and giving it away for free is fair, but we don't have to.
Yeah. No, these are all.
They win, we win too. We all win.
We all win. We're all going to win together. Let's win together, everybody, as we talk now about this week's games that we played. Whoops, where's my thing? I'm in the wrong tab, so here we go. All right, here is where I spent most of my time. I played a lot of WoW, not much to add.
Nope, let's start with shared.
Oh shit.
Go back.
I almost forgot. I'm glad you said that because Tactical Breach Wizards is our first discussion. Thank you, John, for reminding me. I forgot this thing got moved up. So I've had my eye on this for a long time. I know we've all kind of wish listed it forever. This is one of those what's his name? Tom. Forgot his name. I'm going to pull it up real quick.
Tom Waits. Oh, get your bingo cards ready.
Tom, hold on. Wait. His name is Tom. Shit. I can't find it. Anyway,
Tom Shit.
he used to work for PCGamer Europe and or UK or whatever it was. He went off and did some games and some pretty amazing games. The last couple of games were awesome.
Yeah.
And
I follow his YouTube channel, I'm pretty sure. So I don't even remember his name either. It's Tom something.
So they've been at this one for 6 to 7 years. Like pre-pandemic, they've been working on it. Yeah. Tactical Breach Wizards. They had a demo out for a while. It was very incomplete. This is the full game. It just came out today. It is currently at 98% positive for the few reviews that have been rolling in, and launched at $17.99. I was ready to go click and buy this thing because I heard it was out. I was like, okay, well, I'm getting it. I didn't pre-order it, so I was like, I'll just go get it. And then suddenly in my inbox, Shatterproof sent me a copy of the game. And I was like, whoa, no way. Awesome. Let's do this. So I got the first set of missions. I guess they were tutorial missions plus one done today with what time I had. And this thing is really fun. I can see how this is going to be very addicting because it takes the essence of what I love about turn-based stuff, but also kind of makes it a puzzle and has a really great rewind mechanic in it. I guess I should give you the basics of this, or the concept of this is you're a modern military group of wizards who, one of them is, what is it, SEAL Team, what's his name? Or no, oh shit, I can't find these names. SEAL Team something.
Is it Hex?
Hex, SEAL Team Hex, I think is what he calls himself.
Something like that.
There's a bunch of that kind of stuff, like funny little in-jokes about kind of modern military names and stuff. But it's like, the best way I can describe it, the tactical gameplay of it, is a combination of XCOM and the game with the mechs that was really popular, made by the
Into the Breach
people, because you have this element of it which is like, all right, I only have 3 moves I can do this in, or one of us is going to get killed, and that can't happen. So I need to push this guy with an ability to a certain place, and another guy can knock him off the moving train. That's how we'll kill him, not just simply come out from cover and shoot him in the head, because it's not enough, as an example. And I think it's very cool, even just what little I've played. I'm just barely getting to the meat of the thing, because like I said, I spent all my time in the tutorial mission, which kind of takes you along I think it's a train or a boat. I think it's a boat.
Yeah, I think it has the Modern Warfare opening of boat.
Yeah, and knowingly so. I think they are having a go a little bit at some of those tropes, right? Like the story seems very, the tongue is firmly in cheek. It's not afraid to swear. And the Necro Medic. I love that the medic's a Necro. Here are some of the names. This is great. Anyway, it's a weird premise, and I think it's delightful so far, and I can't wait to keep playing this. John, I'm curious how much time you had in the game.
A little more than you, but not much. I've gotten through the tutorial, and then into introducing the first new character, which follows the tutorial, and I'm about halfway or so through the next set of missions. It is presented as a puzzle game, so while it does look a lot like SOCOM, it's, you get a room to breach, and you go in, you solve the puzzle in that room, and that usually ends with okay, now go to the next room, breach that room. That's a different puzzle to solve. And then it, kind of gives you rewards based on how many turns did it take, how efficient were you, all those sort of metrics between rooms.
Right.
And so it's really, really cool. I can see how it's going to get more and more complicated.
Yeah.
Because they're definitely introducing new mechanics, like, hey, you can breach from different doors, and you can reposition who breaches from where, and they have different spells that they can do. So, like, the first character that you get introduced is someone who can do, like, a chain lightning, and each one of those lightning blasts has a knockback effect, but from the direction that it's coming from. So, if you want to instant one-shot people by sending them out windows, you need to make sure that they are hitting them from one particular angle, and then that's then arcing to a different angle. And it's a really interesting take on puzzle. It's very it's simple in the ways that you want it to be simple. You're not going to be like, oh crap, I hit the wrong button. It's like, okay, I'm going to click this, I'm going to move, I'm going to click this, I'm going to shoot, I'm going to, it's kind of really simplistic controls and style, but then the puzzle itself is complicated and fun and interesting and compelling. Yeah. And they do an interesting thing with the first character that you're introduced to, where the idea is that he can see into the future a little bit.
They call it foresight, right? I think it's foresight is what they call it.
Yeah, it's called foresight. And so you get this interesting dynamic where it's like, hey, can this person take a shot from somebody if you allow them to shoot? And you play out the scenario and no, they're going to get shot and killed. Okay, so rewind. If I take the shot, will I survive? Yes, I will. Okay, so I need to position this character in a way to where I get shot and they don't, because I'll survive it and they won't. Yeah. And so you can do some kind of interesting mechanics with that. Another thing I really appreciated is the narrative. Not that it's a bad story, but it goes to what is kind of an obvious story direction with the first mission, where it's like, oh, I see where they're going with this. And one thing I really appreciated is it wastes no time. It knows that you know the direction the story's going in, and it acknowledges that that's the direction it went in on stage one. Mm-hmm. And that took me from not really caring that much about the story to going, oh, well, maybe this will be something to be invested in, because the thing that I feel like a lot of stories would really hang on to be a narrative surprise later, even though we've seen it 100 times, so you're never going to be surprised by it. It just basically is like, yeah, that's happening. That's exactly what's happening. Yeah. And I really appreciated that from a storytelling perspective. The story is very tongue-in-cheek because you are dealing with they look like soldiers, but their magic staves and wands are in gun holsters and stuff, and frames of guns, so it looks like he's walking around with an assault rifle, but if you really look at it, it's just a giant wizard staff in a gun. It's really kind of dumb. And you're investigating a druid mafia and stuff like that. There's some real dumb tongue-in-cheek stuff, but they're taking it seriously enough that it's compelling. It's it's all tongue-in-cheek, but it is taking elements of its narrative seriously, which is nice.
Yeah, I agree. Everything you've said I agree with. It's very I don't know. Into the Breach is the closest comparison I can think of, because the puzzle elements of it So if you didn't like that, I think this maybe is a game to just be aware that that's kind of how the strategy plays out. It isn't just simply here we are on a battlefield, figure out how to kill all these guys, XCOM style. It's not quite that. It's different than that, but it's I think it's really cool so far, and I really love the concept of these wizards and how stupid that stuff is. It's just, I don't know, it's hitting the right spot for me. The other thing I was going to say was, what was it? Oh, you brought up the foresight thing. I really like that feature because sometimes I just want to see, well, how's this going to work out? Because at some point when you end your turn, you can no longer rewind. Up till then, you can rewind up to the last time that you ended a turn. So being able to use his ability to see if your little convoluted way of solving this room will work or fail is great. And if it works, by the way, you don't need to rewind and do it again. It just worked and you're done.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work, you can rewind and go, all right, I've got to rethink this. And maybe rewind 2 steps back and go, all right, we're going to enter this way and have this guy hide and that sort of thing. It's just a smart little package, and I can see myself getting super hooked in this. So, I know what I was going to say. For people wondering if this is good for Steam Deck, it does have controller support. I will say that it is kind of weird controller support, kind of not janky, but weird decisions were made. I don't know how configurable it is. I didn't have a lot of time to mess with it. But it's a weird combination of buttons that maybe aren't as intuitive. Once you get the hang of it, it's fine, but it's not super intuitive right off the bat on controller. So if you wanted to play this on deck, just know you have to get your head around it, and then once you do, it's fine. Anyway, that's it. Tactical Breach Wizards, amazing game. Big thanks to Shatterproof. Did he send you your copy too? Did you buy this separate?
Yes, Shatterproof sent me one as well. So thank you, Shatterproof.
He also sent one to me.
Good.
There's 3 hosts on the show, so.
But
I didn't notice. Been busy playing other games, so it just didn't.
Well, that's good though, because I do think you'll dig it, Beau. So
okay, quick
this
question.
has been on my radar forever, so I'm sad I didn't get to play it too before the show because I would have.
Does that count as the only 3 hosts on the show, Square?
No.
I know that absolutely counts. Yes.
Yeah.
We said he remembered there's 3 hosts on the show. It works in both directions.
All right.
It's
I thought
also
it was just if somebody got left out.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Yeah. So as long as because it's just a quote, so I assume it's just if we say it.
Yeah, like we could say to Blizzard, does Chris know there's 3 hosts on the show? We all want to come interview him. Now you can score your bingo cards.
That's
right. There you go.
That's right.
JK.
Funny thing about that, I almost forgot to tell you guys this. You guys reminded me of it. When we were there, I was looking for hero stuff because I just was curious, right? Yeah. I'm in the building. All these
There's
games
one guy making updates there at least.
At least someone there is making updates. So I thought, well, there's got to be something going on. I went to the museum. They have a built-in museum. They have a library. They have all these things. And I have to say, it was a little weird. It's as if that game doesn't exist.
Well, they're putting out updates, and it's on the launcher, so it's not all doom and gloom.
Oh, right? I agree, but I couldn't find anything. There's stuff for Rumble everywhere. Did you ask
to look in the janitor closet?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Well, you would have found the Heroes guy.
It's entirely possible, yes.
Next to the, those places usually have a big, tub where you can clean dirty things.
Yeah. But I mean, in the museum, it's here's all the StarCraft stuff. Here's a bunch of WoW stuff. Here's a bunch of ancient Warcraft 1 and 2 stuff. All of these memorable things. Their awards are everywhere. All these things. Warcraft Rumble shit everywhere. And I'm running through this place going, where is the hero stuff? Nothing. No art.
I'll tell you where the Heroes stuff, it's in all the video games because Heroes was so goddamn good that every one of their video games started taking ideas from it and putting it in their video game. Yeah. It's Murky in World of Warcraft. It's Johanna in Diablo and the Crusaders being represented in cool ways there in their style. It's the way they colored and did Lucio's effect in Overwatch that they stole after Heroes did it better in their game. That's where Heroes of the Storm is it's making everybody else's stuff good.
Yeah. No, you're not. I think actually think that's a fairly accurate thing to say, but I guess I just thought I would see some art. There's a lot of concept art for a lot of games there. all over the place. Nothing for heroes. No, like, Samwise Didier for a long time was on the heroes team doing art direction.
And they have their own like stuff. There's the Crypt Keeper, not the Crypt Keeper. There's the Lord. Freaking, it's from the map.
The lore. I know what you mean.
I can't remember any map name from Heroes for some reason, but the Grave Lords, or maybe he is the Grave Lord. The one with the shooty balls.
The more you try and give us more information to figure it out, the more lost
hang on,
I
log
get.
in the game. Hang on. There's the map where it's two...
the Raven Lord versus the Gravekeeper?
That's the one. Yes. Those are... Yes. Like, those are characters. They even depicted one in a cinematic. Like, they are literal characters. It's... the Ladyface is dead. What's her name?
Ladyface!
What's the role of Scott Johnson will be played by Beau Schwartz tonight.
I gotta stop hanging out with Scott. I'm turning into him.
You are. You're talking about the great. She carries a coffin on her back.
Yeah, the coffin girl. Freaking. I'm logging into Heroes now because it's driving me nuts.
I'm not gonna remember.
So hard
she was the original. She was the first original character that wasn't pulled from another IP.
Yeah. Hang on. Where are you? Where are you?
Oh my gosh, dude.
Orphea.
Orphea.
I like that Taz is the one who gave it to us, but obviously had an autocorrect issue the first time and just yells, "Orphan!
Orphan!"
Right. And what I'm thinking of, like okay, not Haunted Mines map. What's the other one that's like Haunted Mines?
Where you have the objectives like that, same kind of objectives.
Really, Cursed Hollow. Yeah, like Cursed Hollow is like an iconic Heroes map. Blackheart. Garden Terrors. Like there's lots of cool, unique shit from Heroes. It's shocking that you didn't see any.
I just didn't see any like any kind of archival stuff, and it just bummed me out. I was just like, man,
is this like maybe a case where they don't appreciate a thing that they have? Like, because that game was phenomenal.
Nobody appreciated the thing they had.
I mean,
nobody.
Look, it didn't succeed on the business level. I know there are people who poured their hearts into it, but maybe they're all just gone.
There's a reason that's where Samwise wanted to work. He knew.
Yeah.
People knew. There were people in the know who knew. And we knew. We did a show about it until we figured out that nobody else knew.
Yeah, we knew. A few people knew.
No, I think a lot of people are still playing that game. The quick match is like, again, 30 to 60 seconds.
I can't go back. It makes me sad.
I mean,
like,
good.
I know the game is still good. It was good the day I played it for the last time, and it's good today, but I'm just too sad when I go back.
Like, I'm in the client now, and I really want to press the play game button.
Because part of the fun was sitting there and going, oh, I wonder if Selendis is going to be next. Oh, that would be so cool. What if they put, what's the cool troll deity in...
the Loa guy.
Yeah, him.
Hey,
Bwonsamdi
loves you, man.
What if they put him in there?
Oh, yeah.
He'd be amazing. Like, it was sitting there going like, oh, what if this person got put in? What if this person got put in there? Like, that was part of the fun. And like, when you go in and it's just sort of like, well, this is it. I don't know.
Oh, Resurgence of the Storm added a new hero, Delta. It's like a Nova, but different.
What's Resurgence of the Storm? Oh, is that the mod?
That's the Heroes mod in StarCraft. That is just them adding new heroes and stuff.
I meant to check that out. I'm very curious how it plays.
I haven't gotten into it too, but I follow them and I keep tabs on what's going on with Resurgence.
Yeah, it's wild.
That's what I mean. It's like, there's a whole ass team of people that are updating the game because Blizzard won't, basically. Like, it's like, come on, guys. So
I had told you guys, I don't know if I can share it, so I won't, but I told you guys about a stat about a certain game that was getting a lot of players. That's still you know what I'm talking about? That was weird.
Yeah,
I still think it's weird.
That boggles my mind.
I still don't get it. I won't bring it up because I don't know if I'm supposed to.
Well, I think it's like fair to say.
That's pulling a Johnson, is it? Damn it. Okay, hold on.
That is pulling a Johnson, actually. Yeah. I wasn't even thinking about it, but yep.
Oh, man, I'm really close to a thing now. Okay. Pulling a Johnson.
You even pulled another Johnson there. We can't see your bingo card.
Yeah, that's it down there. Look, I've only got one slot left on that vertical. Someone bought DLC.
They call it a chain pull.
Yeah. I think I'm actually safe, though, because I don't think
someone bought cosmetic DLC.
Did you do that this week? John?
What?
Cosmetic DLC?
I bought the Sylvanas skin.
You did?
4.
In Diablo,
He bought the Diablo 4 skin?
He bought the foreskin.
I bought the Diablo 4 skin.
Bingo!
Just to give Scott bingo, I will admit. Let's bring this bingo challenge to an end.
Yeah.
And say, yeah, I did.
I got bingo. All right.
What are your bingo squares?
I got FOMO'd, and it was like, store's refreshing in 5 hours. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to buy the expansion yet. I'll just be out $24. Ugh, what was I thinking?
Yeah, what were you thinking?
I don't know. I don't know why I did it.
I know why you did it, because you like cool things, and that's a cool thing. That's all. I think that's fine.
Don't try and ease what I did.
I'm trying to make it.
It was my birthday, so I was like, damn it, I'm buying myself nice things. I pre-ordered some games, which again, we always say don't do, but I did it because I knew I was going to get them.
Yeah.
I pre-ordered Space Marines 2.
You did?
Well, that's fine. Yeah. There's been a lot of people who've played it and reported it's good, so it's not like it's a...
Yeah, I think
I figured, I'll be attacked if I don't end up playing that, especially with you guys.
I'll be attacked.
I bought a game I'll talk about later, and I did pre-order Final Fantasy 16 on PC.
Oh shit! I didn't know that was up for pre-order.
It is.
Oh, all right. Another news story. Breaking news.
You're gonna be able to get Final Fantasy 16 next month.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, it's soon.
All right, for those at home who can't see it, I'll just tell you what I got for bingo, and then we'll move on. John rants about Blizzard or Overwatch. That was my first one, or one of them in this line. Somebody bought DLC cosmetics. That was you. The mid-show break lasts longer than 5 minutes. I screwed that up. Core goes on a wild tangent. That's always going to happen. And then finally, Scott pulls a Johnson. So, boom, there's bingo. And if anyone else got it at home, congratulations. You did it. And thanks, Taz, for that.
Valid bingo.
Yep, and now we never have to talk about bingo again. Bingo. I guess you can keep going, right? You guys can keep having your sheet, right?
Yeah, like I still need a bingo.
That's how bingo works. Nobody just gets up and leaves when the first guy gets it.
I think when someone wins bingo, everyone resets their cards and you start a new round. But
all right, yeah.
We're not trying to replace.
No,
bingo,
no. In fact, I predict
a bunch of old biddies listen to Core because it's their new form of bingo. I don't like the content, but I sure like playing my bingo.
I predict that.
Oh, you did an impression.
And there. Oh yeah, put that on there if you have it. But also, I predict one more show of this, and people are going to start saying, "All right, enough with the bingo." I'll bet.
Yeah, yeah. It's an arc or period. We're not. It's not bingo forever. We're just having a bit of fun.
Yeah. Bingo.
Are you worried it's going to take over?
We should call it.
Well, we didn't get. I don't think we got any comments on it last week, but I do agree with Scott. I think we've got about another week or two before the comments start going. All right, guys. All right, show's already 3.5 hours. I don't know if we need to hear about your bingo card.
Yeah, we should have called it Arena Bingo Infinite. That should be the name of our game.
Yeah, I like it.
All right, what else did I play? Oh, tons of Shapes 2. Oh my gosh, all I did was mention WoW and look at all the places we've gone. Shapes 2 with a Z. I played that a ton. I am way far. It is getting harder and harder. I love that game. It will be hard to pry that from my top 3 of the year when this year ends. And I know there are others like me because I see you online all the time playing at the same time I am. And I'm happy that so many people are also addicted to it. It's fantastic. Shapes 2 rules. Okay? Automation fans, freaking get on it. That's all I had time for this week. Those are the 2 games I played. Well, 3 with Tactical Breach.
Did you guys feel like you talked enough about WoW? I know it was on the pre-show, but considering it's out this week, do you guys feel like you said what you wanted to say about WoW?
I played 40 minutes. It's one of those, I played 40 minutes.
You record today.
Yeah.
I played 40 minutes before the show. What do you want to talk about? I'm hyped. I think it started off with a good bang that I'm happy about. So
good story bang.
Get back to it.
Yeah, I agree.
It's too early to say the scope of the whole thing, but we're here.
Yeah,
it's exciting. This isn't. It isn't. I'm not going to bring up other expansions. All right, it's exciting. What's happening is looks like, we got all the main characters together, which we've already said before, and I want to see where it goes. So.
Yeah, there's a lot to say about the gameplay, but we haven't gotten there yet. I only had about as much time as Beau did, and prior to that, for the last 2 weeks, or week and a half, however long it's been just preparing for the expansion and doing a lot of odds and ends and doing some transmog and all that. So
I do want to say one thing. It's just about MMOs in general, but they kind of made a big deal about a costume change because characters and NPCs and MMOs wear the same outfit, right? Like they never change outfit. Like it's a big deal when they change an outfit, and there's an outfit change early on, and I was like, "Who does that?"
Oh yeah, she changed.
Because I didn't realize. Well, we can just say it's not a spoiler. It's just Illyria has like a new outfit because she's a Green Ranger girl, whatever.
Lady, sure.
And now she's gone, full void boy. Like, and it's fine, but it was just funny how they made it big. There was a moment, and I think I was supposed to understand that this was Illyria in the void boy outfit.
Yeah.
But I didn't. I was like, "Who is that?"
Yeah,
they're making a big deal out of this character. I don't know who they are. It took me like
she has gone
a long time to realize when Khadgar was like Illyria. I was like, "Oh, that's Illyria." Anyway,
she's gone through some emo stuff since the Void stuff. She's seen hard times. I kind of like it though. It reminds me when Jaina got her whole like fishing boat.
Oh yeah, her glow up, her Tolbarad. Tolbarad? No, it's not Tolbarad.
Not Tolbarad. What's that called?
Tor?
No. It was in Battle for
Basil McMillan.
Yes, Basil McMillan. That era.
What's the name of the fishing guy?
And then Jaina Proudmoore returned home to her village of Basil McMillan.
What's it called over there? Battle for Azeroth. You had your
Keen Mackinac.
They were all double X town.
Cole-Terras. My goodness.
Uwe Bowl.
Jeez. I'll put you guys out of your misery.
Cole-Terras.
Colterans. That's right. All the big and tall store people over there.
She got her Colteran glow up. Yeah. That's what I mean. They make a big deal. It's like their new outfit they're going to wear every day for the next 4 years. So Illyria got her Void Boy.
I mean, technically, Thrall's done this twice. He went through his robe and beads period. And then,
he did. He was armor. Then he was a robe over his armor.
Yeah.
Then he was like, okay, that's dumb. I'll just wear a robe.
Now he's wearing his Heroes of the Storm skin.
What was he wearing when he was farming? Was it what he's wearing now?
No, farming he was like shirtless and big furry pants, and it wasn't really like a regular outfit.
Now he's back to armor, right?
Now he's back to armor. And his armor looks like Beau's right. It's like his main skin in Heroes of the Storm. His armor skin.
That's how Thrall should look.
I agree.
Kind of. Yeah,
he's got some gray streaks now and stuff. But.
I get why they gave him a robe, but
he looks cool.
They shouldn't have.
Anduin looks rough. I gotta say, Anduin looks rough. Like not this cinematic Anduin, but just the regular NPC.
Yeah,
he looks 40.
He just looks.
Like I look at him and I'm like, oh, this is a 40-year-old.
Yeah, he's seen some shit. Yeah, he went through it.
His face is dirty.
He had to play Shadowlands more than anybody except Sylvanas.
You're not wrong, dude. That poor guy in Shadowlands. Holy shit. Yeah. Well, anyway, it's the game.
Did he have kids?
Did he have kids? I don't think so. I don't think he's even hooked up with
usually
anybody.
King's gonna want a prince and a princess, so he better get on that before he goes down into the spider hole.
Well, he's sad right now.
He's sad. Yeah, I wonder if he'll end up with like maybe
Illyria.
Illyria.
Semen still works. He's a king.
Yeah, but he's sad. He has sad semen.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Being sad never really stopped my pecker from working. He's a king. Kings have duties. Like it's not really a question of being happy, right? Like the kings have to
the king's semen
further the interest of the realm. So
the Colterians still sail.
If he's that sad and can't procreate, I'm sure Khadgar can tease it out of him and put him in a vial. They got so many wizards in Dalaran. Like this problem's solvable.
Yeah. I found out the actor who plays Shit Wizard Khadgar is an actor you all know, and I never knew it was him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, let me show you this real quick because it's really cool. You've seen him in a million things. Khadgar, here we go. Voice actor. Here we go. Gianni. No, that's not him. Is it Kevin Michael Richardson? No. Where is it? It's not Bryce Papenbrook. Where is this? Hold on. IMDb World of War.
New bingo card slot. Scott learned something that isn't true.
Yeah, that is absolutely not true at all. Okay, here we go. Video game. Okay, let's do Legion. He was all over Legion. Here we go. Where's Khadgar? Come on. Should be easy.
I love how this started when you guys got to hear this thing I know.
Well, he I realize that makes no sense.
Oh, okay. Man, Scott, you got to get better at Google. I found it immediately.
Tony
Is it Tony Amendola?
Yes, that guy. And you've seen him in a billion things before, this guy, right?
This is going to be crazy, Scott. You know what I Googled to find that out?
What?
Khadgar voice actor.
Is that all you had to do?
Yep.
I went the IMDb
Although
way.
I am going to say, everybody, don't Google it, because I feel like I've now been spoiled on something that happens in the new expansion.
Oh, yeah, don't go look at that.
Turns out, well, I feel like
don't go look at
spoiled it. Maybe.
Next week we can talk about it.
Cabin.
But Khadgar, so this actor, though, you know him from things in like Stargate SG-1. He was Master Baytak or Bratak or whatever you call him.
What?
Yeah, SG-1.
His name's what?
Cap Master Bratak, I think. Oh, there it is right there.
You said Master Baytak, and that's a completely different character.
Oops.
I want that to be true, though.
Annabelle, The Mask of Zorro, Lone Star, 911, The Chosen, tons of stuff. He's in Starfield, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Does a lot of voice stuff.
Yeah, he was the Jedi Master that you were chasing all over the place.
I didn't realize he was a big voice actor, actually. That's cool.
But you see that face and you're just like, oh, yeah, of course. If you ever need like a Benedictine priest, you hire that guy. Or if you need a shit wizard, you hire him as well, I guess.
It was good.
I'm glad space wizard, because that's what's.
I'm glad you told me that, because that's cool. He's a cool actor.
Yeah, I like him. He's great. All right, let's move on to. Did I talk about everything? Oh, just a quick note. It's on sale and just launched on Steam. Skull and Bones from Ubisoft, which apparently is pretty good right now, from what I hear. Also, finally made it to Steam. It's no longer strictly on Epic. So I decided to just go see what's going on over there. And
you played it?
I haven't played it yet. I installed it. 60% off on Steam.
Yeah, I almost pulled
price.
The trigger on it because that's a steep discount.
Yeah, for the first quadruple A video game of all time.
Well,
right.
Gamers be shitting on things.
Yeah, they are. Sure they are.
They're not always right.
Didn't dub it a quadruple A game. Ubisoft dubbed it a triple A video game.
That's
quadruple A.
That's dumb, but it might be a good $32 game. You know what I mean? Well, Canadian's 32. I don't know what it is for you guys.
24 here is all.
If I spend 36, I can get the premium edition, which comes with bullshit.
Yeah, nothing but bullshit. Normally, this is a $60 game. They're doing an introductory, hey, Steam, sorry we took so long price. I'm willing to give that a shot. Most of the reviews that are negative are people just shitting on Ubisoft, and so enjoy that.
Yeah, what I saw too, I did a scan. It was like, it's the usual online only sucks. Which I agree, but it's
yeah, but
the game still may be fun. If you play it 2 weeks and had a good time for $30, like you're probably fine. Like, so I don't know.
Well, maybe I'm biased because I just threw $24 at it.
I cannot criticize your purchase. You spent the same amount of money on this quadruple A video game that I did on a costume that I might not wear in a video game that I might never play again. So,
good point.
Here we are.
This is $20 cheaper than an Overwatch Mythic skin. What a good deal.
See? That's my thinking. And I'll play this game. I've installed it, and I will give it a shot. So next week, expect my much delayed thoughts on Skull and Bones. Which I'm not going in as a hater.
Should I buy it too? I was about to buy it and then I stopped, and it was during the show I was looking at it.
I'll play with you if you buy it. If you get it, I'll play with you.
All
right.
Scratch off your bingo cards.
Okay.
Buying a game on
Yep. You guys have a slot.
Shatterproof bought me 15 games to play, but I'm gonna buy this game and play it.
I love it. Shatterproof truly is Shatterproof. That guy, love him.
Yeah.
All right, now I'm excited to talk about a thing that we've been putting off way too long. John played Black Myth Wukong Monkey Boy.
Whoa, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad we're going to get to hear about this.
Yeah, and I am really, really curious because it seems like it's pretty neat, but it looks Souls-like, and I need to hear what the hell we're doing here. So, John, take it away. What are we doing with this game?
So I have not played a ton of the game yet, but what I have played, I really like. It's got really good production value. It looks incredible. And my system has been handling new video games a little at a degree where I was almost thinking, like, is my computer dying? Because some of these games I get just run really poorly. And Black Myth Wukong runs great and looks great on my computer. So I'm like, ooh, it's kind of fallen in that cyberpunk category for me where it's just it's somehow doing some black magic that allows the game to run and play really well.
This is that luck you get.
Same time.
Remember that back when Arkham Knight and you and I were the only two, it seemed like, in the whole world that had good performance on it? It reminds me of that. Because a lot of people having performance issues? The developer came out and was like, we're sorry about PC performance problems and all this. And I'm thinking, oh, shit, that doesn't sound good. But it sounds like you got lucky again. So
it's been running pretty smooth. I will say it was a little rough and janky at first. And then I ran the NVIDIA, hey, do your thing, update business. And it looked better and it ran just fine. So, yeah.
It looks crazy. Geez, look at this thing that we're looking at.
Yeah. Here. As soon as it started, I was like, oh my gosh, this is breathtaking. So far, it doesn't seem hard like a Souls game.
Good.
Now, I might take that back at a certain point, but right now, playing it has been fairly, straightforward. In fact, most of the enemies I've been running up to, I just do heavy attack and they die from it. It's like, all right, they're gone. But it's a really cool action game. It seems like it's going to have a lot of depth. It seems like it's going to have a lot of places to explore. I already got to an area where they were like, hey, fly around and explore. It's not giving me a super linear experience. It's not like open world, but it's like there's a lot of branching paths you can take, and it seems like there's things to see on those various paths.
Yeah.
And it's really fun. So far I'm just having a blast with it. I'll probably have more to say about it next week because I'm not super far, but right now it seems like an incredibly solid third-person action game with a lot of personality, a lot of character. I really like the art design. And they've given me one ability so far, and it's already I love it. It's just the ability to paralyze an enemy as they're running at you, and it's cool. The combat looks great. Feels great.
The scale of the opener, like we're looking at right now, unbelievably cool. I'm getting vibes of God of War meets Pandaria. Pandaria, a lot of the story is based on this fable. So there's things in Pandaria and WoW, and there's no direct comparison, obviously, but there's a lot of stuff in there. The who was the character in Heroes that had the blade and
Samuro,
yeah. So he had a skin even that was like this dude. It's a really famous story and novel, and this is supposed to be a very thorough adaptation of what was described in the book. And if this is what's described, these gigantic monolithic bosses and crazy scale, I mean, this is just right up my hole. I got to play this. Yeah, but I don't want to play a Souls game. If it's not a Souls game, I'm in. If it is,
I'm going to go and say it doesn't look anything like a Souls game. This looks like third-person action. This is the game that people are like, because they like Souls so much, they're saying it, but I just don't see it.
I did get to a boss that was hard and it killed me, but
that's not the defining.
That's not, to me, that doesn't make it a Souls game. Mega Man games have bosses that kill me. I don't go, well, my favorite Souls is Mega Man X.
Yeah.
The difficulty exists across more video games than just Souls games. So
it's a combination of punishing elements, right?
Yeah.
And specific, permadeath is not a thing in a Souls game, but having to go back and reclimb up a mountain. Because you lose your runes, right? So you get set back and you got to go back to the point you made it to, and hopefully not die on your way. Like, a little munchkin might rip your balls off in the Souls-like game on the way to the boss. You might lose on the way to the boss.
Right.
So I just don't see that here. I think this is just a fun action adventure game.
I'm really interested then, because this just looks so cool. You're gonna have to tell us more as you get deeper, but
did it have a difficulty picker, John?
Not that I saw. It seemed to be like just, hey, dive right in, and then it kind of gives you an opening fight where, it teases things out where it's like you're not in any real danger of losing this fight. Like you can get beat up as much as you want, and you just keep going. So it kind of gives you an idea of like what advanced level combat is going to be, and it's kind of nice because you do get to see like, oh, I'm going to be able to create tons of clones of myself and do all sorts of wild abilities. And I think he's got like different stances he can use with his staff to do different fighting styles and different abilities within that. So it seems like it's pretty deep. I haven't scratched that depth yet. So it's a little hard for me to be like, oh, this is incredible and amazing, because I just haven't gotten as deep as it's going to go or even close. But from what I've played so far, I'm having a fantastic time with it.
My God, people who hate Mimic Tier are going to hate that move you just displayed.
yeah, you create not just one clone, but many clones. All the Dark Souls or Elden Ring fans are going to be like,
all the Mimic Tier haters are going to
cheated.
Tell me about save points and like that kind of stuff. Is it generous?
It has shrines, a lot like a Souls-like game. There are shrines that you go to where you kind of can manage a lot of your elements that you have to take care of. It does respawn enemies like a Souls-like game does. So there is some shared DNA there, but the game also has a level up system that you might want to grind out that stuff, and it's got a lot of different trees, whether that's enhancing your abilities like the ability to paralyze somebody or your martial arts, so you've got new ability or new moves you can do, or even just like health, stamina, stuff like that. It seems very focused on like dodging. In fact, when you perform like a perfect dodge, you create a duplicate of yourself, which is kind of cool. So there's definitely Souls-like elements in there, but so far I've not found it. It doesn't play like one.
Okay.
It is, I guess, the thing that's the biggest hurdle that's keeping me from going, oh yeah, this is a Souls-like, stay away, is the fighting feels very quick, very snappy, and very responsive, which is not traditional. It's more deliberate combat in like an Elden Ring and Dark Souls. And then on top of that, like the pacing, you kind of get this deliberate pace that you go through a Souls-like game with, which is like, okay, I know this is here, dodge this, hit this, enemies here, I'm going to use this method to get past. And you're doing that for like the lowest level of enemies. In this game, I was running around just charging my strongest hit and just going bonk every time I ran across an enemy and laughing about it as I, smacked an enemy down in one hit. Like, I was goofing around. And yeah, then a boss beat me up, but like regular combat was not super punishing. It has a healing flask, much like Elden Ring or Dark Souls, but I haven't been at a point where I'm like, oh god, I gotta get this refilled. It's impossible. I never have enough healing. Like, it feels a little easier than what you might expect from one of those games. Yeah. And for me, that's good. Like, I don't want every game to be at that same level.
Yeah, I don't even, to me, it's not even about the difficulty as much as it is about, I want to enjoy the world and not get in my own way with just dying constantly. Like, that isn't the challenge I want. The challenge I want here is to progress. How open is it? Is it like linear? Is it big open world?
In a lot of ways, it kind of feels like the bigger, I don't even know if you got to some of these, but it feels like kind of the more open, bigger areas of Final Fantasy XIV, where it's like, it's not the entire world that you have access to, like this massive area that you're running around in. It's like various branching corridors, some really wide, some really narrow, that go in a bunch of different directions in an area.
Okay.
But I'm not super far. That's just what I've seen so far. So it's been quasi-linear with like, oh, well, I can go to the south and there might be something interesting down there, but I could also go to the north and there might be something completely different that way.
Yeah.
So it's not super linear. You're just going down a hallway, but it's also not a big wide open world that they just drop you in and go, all right, go explore.
The adherence to the story and the fable, it probably means there's more linear progression than usual. Like, 'cause it's not, that story has a story, right? You're supposed to follow it. PCGamer said something interesting. They said, here we go. It says, if anything about it is truly like From Software games, it's how much it lets its rich world speak for itself. See, that's exciting, because that's my favorite thing about those From games. The combat sometimes ruins it for me, but the world and the mystery around the world and what I'm seeing on screen any given minute and having it be completely new and wacko, that's really compelling. So I think
they're not over explaining. It's like, hey, here's an old man that's helping you. He's got like sticks growing out of his face.
Yeah.
Like, hey, there he is. He's teaching you moves.
Yeah.
They're not going to tell you why he's there. There's not a big explanation on what he's doing or anything. It's just like, oh, he's there. He's helping me, I guess.
Yeah.
I messed with some wolf people and now they all seem mad at me. It was kind of funny at first. Now they're trying to murder me. I don't really need to think too much more on this. Like, there it is.
Yeah. All right. I'm curious now, more than I was. So, seems like it's good. Baldur's Gate 3 continues to be a thorn in your happy bum.
Yeah. Yep. That's a great way to describe it. I continue to play Baldur's Gate and go, do I need to give up gaming? Like, they really just, like...
Never going to get better than that.
Are we done? If we reached the pinnacle and we're never going to be up this high ever again? It just continues to be a little marvel. Like, I'm playing a game, yes, I'm doing the Dark Urge, which is different than previous times, but in general, I'm not playing it insanely different than the last time I played it. And things are still going wildly different from just various roles or different decisions, or just going, I'll live with that. I'll do this first. And it's just wild how many ways that game takes into account the things you're doing. So not much new to say. I'm getting close to closing the book on Act 1, wrapping up some side quest business, but I just continue to marvel at Baldur's Gate 3. And speaking of games that I think are damn near perfect, and I'm struggling with not just playing only these games forever and ever, I also watched Beau play one of the games he's playing this week and was like, I should play that again. So I'm very much on the cusp of just playing RPGs I have already finished nonstop. And
you're going to get back into Cyberpunk?
I'm thinking about it. I'm really tempted. Every time I watch you play and you talk to Johnny Silverhand, I just laugh. And I'm like, I want to talk to Johnny Silverhand again. That would be nice for me.
The writing's really good in that game. Very immersive.
Yeah.
Talk about that in a sec.
Yeah. I'm excited to hear.
But so BG3, what act are you on?
Late Act 1. I've done most of the things. I'm going through the Temple of Shar right now.
Yeah, it's such a long game. Even I think if you speed through it, it's still just, it's a journey.
Yeah. Like life.
That's good. The only other thing I've really been playing is Fortnite. It updated. Gone is the Mad Max season that never had Mad Max in it. And here is the Marvel season, which does have Marvel characters in it.
Oh, nice.
And I'm officially going to call this season so far awesome. Is it awesome because I know a lot about Fortnite and I can tell a good season from a bad season? No. It is awesome because so far I've won 3 times in the short bit of time that the season's been out. And that's a lot more times. And therefore,
style? Like
good season. 1? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Nice.
Including one back-to-back. So
I feel like probably Scott and I should play with you to like get carried because you practice a lot.
Yeah, you're
probably
good.
really good at it. Like, if you got 3 chicken dinners, that seems good. It's still 100 people in a match, right?
Yeah, no, you're better than me. You're way better than me.
Well, unless I'm playing with my wife, then it's it's 50.
Oh, because duos,
but
wait,
50 teams or 50 players?
Oh, right. 100 players, but they're all split up into twos, so it's basically 50 on 50.
Yeah, 50 teams.
Right.
Yeah, it's an awesome season. They added a lot of Marvel stuff. You got Cap shielding as a weapon. You've got Doctor Doom gloves. My favorite thing that they added is they added an item called the War Machine Armory, which if you collect the full armory takes up 3 item slots, but it gives you a jetpack. It gives you a auto-locking cannon on your shoulder that will just occasionally shoot at people that are in your proximity, and gauntlets that fire machine guns and micro missiles. And you just feel very cool while you're doing it. And it looks really good on a Megatron skin, is what I have found.
Really?
Yeah. I still, to this day, I run around as Megatron with a big purple cape.
And
because I think Megatron in a cape looks cool.
You're a shrunk down version of him, though, right? You're not as...
Yeah, he's a little Megatron.
Okay. I don't know why that's funny, but it is. Little Megatron. Nice. Fortnite, still a threat. Let's move over to Beau. Beau, Cyberpunk. What's going on in there? You playing that expansion yet, or did you start over? I can't remember.
The pre-War Within game, like Gauntlet, to try and get shit done. This is my last week, right? And I did, and Yakuza Infinite Wealth I finished. Kiwami, which was just a bonus game I picked up. I still have to do the final act, but Cyberpunk was another one. Phantom Liberty, like I love Cyberpunk. Why is it taking me this long to get to it? And even still, John dropped in because he talked about dropping in and watching me, and did like an acronym of Phantom because I was too busy doing main game stuff and not getting to Phantom Liberty. Like I was literally, I wanted it to feel natural, but really I just wanted to finish all the main game stuff. But like I'd already burned 3 days in the week.
Yeah.
So I'm coming in to be like, what is it? P is for failing.
Procrastination.
Oh yeah, P is for procrastination. H is for hurry
Hesitation. Up. Yeah, it was a lot of. Yeah. I was just messing with him because he was streaming for like 4 days straight or something like that. And every time I saw him playing Cyberpunk, I was like, "Ooh, he's playing Phantom Liberty. Let me go check." Nope, that's one of the side quests. No, he's throwing a party for Carrie. Like, here we go.
Yeah. I mean, the base game's good too. Like, it's not.
It is good.
Like, it's not like it's like, oh, I'm just doing boring ass shit and not the expansion. It's like, oh, I want to, help River find his nephew, and I want to help Carrie sort out his business with us cracks, and
Yeah, it's good. So, but I was ready for you to see the new stuff, and I finally went in and was like, I'm gonna harass Beau about this, and it was literally when he decided to go check out Phantom Liberty.
Pretty much done. So I did get to start it, but before I talk about the expansion, the one add-on that happened after the expansion, like the 2.1 update, the relationship update, is kind of awesome. So I'm playing a girl V this time, which means, me and Judy are a thing.
I love Judy. Judy's the best.
Now, instead of them just texting you after you're done your date, you can just invite them over to your house like every couple of days, and you can cuddle with them. They shower together, dance, talk about shit. And then they text you, like, now I'm talking to Judy's grandma.
Ooh,
like, I feel like I'm actually, like, I don't feel like I'm in a relationship. I'm in touch with reality. But the kind of text message conversations I'm having now with the what are your intentions with my daughter? And I'm just like, oh, what do I say? It's like, there's a full, like, relationship simulator going on in the game now, which I kind of like. I mean, I'm not in a relationship, so it's nice to have, I guess, just a little bit of a reminder of what that's like. I haven't had those nice conversations. They make it nice. It's not
sure.
It's not like you're in Divorceville or anything terrible like that. It's just the pleasant side of all that stuff. So plus that part was very cool.
Judy's awesome, man. I think you should marry. If I could marry Judy in a virtual way, I'd marry Judy.
Yeah, well, that's. I mean, I just got to make sure Grandma is, or what do they call it? There was a name for Grandma. Al Pacino, no.
Al Pacino.
Abacita or something, or Apachipa.
It's Al Pacino, I believe, is what you're looking for.
Al Pacino.
Yeah, she'll say, "Does anyone object to this union?" And she yells, "Hoo-ha!"
Abuela. It's Abuela. Abuelita. All I can think of was Al Pacino. Spanish,
can't help but notice my granddaughter has a great ass.
Is that a bingo card? I don't know. But anyways,
no, that should be.
Yeah, so I enjoy. I that's a nice touch to the game, honestly. Like, even though it's kind of wild how I'll murder 50 people and then just go cuddle with Judy.
Yeah,
but yeah, and that's what I want to say. So I finally got to the expansion content, and it's good.
Yeah, it is good.
But a little, there's something about this game that's always a little dissonant that is happening here. Like, I'm basically a psychotic Raylan Givens, like the character I'm RPing. Like, Raylan Givens waits for them to shoot first. I kind of don't. Like, it's kind of like if I get patient with them, and there's scenarios in the game that let you play out that fantasy. One of the expansion side missions, that goofy one, I guess, with the two dumb NCPD officers.
My favorite side quest. It's so good.
You both played it, right? So I'm not finished, but you've both played.
I have not finished it, but I played a bunch.
But did you do the side quest for the two cops that are in trouble because they lost a bunch of drugs down the throat of the suspect?
I did, yes. Because it involved it involve a freeway moment where the how did that go?
No, you go down to the basement and dodge. This is guy Dodger, who they're trying to escape from. Like, we can't get caught by Dodger, and then Dodger shows up, and it's like one of those. It's one of those tense shootout times where you can talk your way out of it, or which this is what I appreciated. It's like just draw a weapon. You're like, can we just cut to the part where we zero each other out, and then I made one of them commit suicide and headshot the other two in 2 seconds. Like an actual, like, shootout, right? Like, it's just like there's this tension that builds up, and it's not like some 10-hour level of, get through the level and kill it. It's like 2 seconds. The violence is over in seconds.
Yeah.
And I love the game's at its best when you're able to just be like a badass psycho marshal. And so, but the expansion itself is like spy games, right?
Yeah.
So at one point, at the early one of the first missions, you rescue the president from the plane. Or no, you're going to rescue the president from the plane. Spoilers, by the way.
That's early on.
It's also the intro of the game.
Yeah, that's early.
So yeah, and you're talking with Somi, and Somi's like, "Oh, you need to go in sneakily," and I was like, "Okay," and I'm like, "No, wait a second, I'm gonna pwn all these guys." So instead of going in sneakily, I just walk up to the army of Barghest. And I just start opening fire. Boom, 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 boom. And it's like, well, that's one way to do it. And it's like, bitch, I'm like loaded to the hilt with cyberware. And I live in a post-Edge Runners world. I realize playing it like a weak-ass sneaky guy is a lame way to do ultra-violence. So, I'm like going in there my tactics are everyone commits suicide. So I have a cyber deck that allows me to use health instead of RAM to cast spells, quick hacks on people,
cyber spells,
and cyber spells on people. And well, suicide is just so chilling but efficient. So I can spam suicide on like 8 guys, just go click, 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 and they all just take out their guns and shoot themselves. And any I don't get to, I just headshot with my revolver. And so I'm just mowing everyone down. Boom, 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 boom. I go to the president. Do the whole business, and he's like, we got to get away, and we have to lose them. And I was like, lose them? This expansion is like 2 roads. Like, where am I driving? Where am I driving to? So you get to a plot armor gate where you have to lose them, or else you can't go into the gate. And I was like, I just don't know where to drive to. The 3 enemy trucks were behind me. So I don't know if you watched this part, John, but I
didn't see this part. No.
I spent 20 minutes because I'm like, I'm just going to just keep killing them and see how many they're going to throw at me before the game finally gives up. Because I have a hack to self-destruct vehicles. So the vehicle would roll in, I'd self-destruct it, and then the game would be like, well, we have to have, while they're being detected, they have to have a minimum of 3 vehicles on them. So just keep spawning in vehicles, and I just keep self-destructing them. And I'm like, this game is not accounting for the fact that I'm like a demigod of cyberware here. I'm just like blowing shit up. Because it's a cloak and dagger thing. It wants me to sneak around. But I'm like, just an absolute monster solo. And that's what I mean by a little dissonant, where it's like, it's not the RPG's not giving me the we're scared and we're gonna stop fighting this character like option. Like I murdered like 500 people, just self-destructing their cars. But I felt appropriate because like that's how they do things in the anime, right? Like the anime is, I'm just like, oh, I'm playing this game way too scared and way too morally good. Like Night City there's no moral high ground for anybody. And like there's another mission where you have to like get revenge because 8 people died on this, guy who did a bunch of combat and killed, some people who were trying to be fixers. And there's like a moral quandary because they're like, get revenge for our children, but their children were young people, young aspirants into the criminal underworld. So you're like, well, is that good? Everyone's just trying to survive. But, it's a contract. It's not a moral thing. They want me to kill this guy in revenge. I'll take the contract. And then you get to the guy and he's like, he's in a scav place and he's selling his limbs because he's having a moral problem. He's like, I lived a bad life. I'm sorry I killed people. He's like, don't kill me. Just tell them I died. Take my dog tag. Just tell them I died. And then I'm like, I'm not buying it. I'm like, I feel so weird. I'm like, I kill about 50 people a day. And I'm doing a mission for nice grandmas whose children died to kill this guy who has a body count of like 100 or something. Amateur numbers compared to me. Yeah. And I'm like, this is weird morality where I'm like getting lost in the cyber psychosis and drowning in the fact that like how many people do you kill in the name of justice before you're the monster, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've fully become the monster in this game. It doesn't matter how righteous it is. I have hundreds and hundreds of bodies in the name of me surviving to get this chip out of my head. And every time I think I want to spare somebody, Johnny appears and is like, you should shoot this bastard. So like half the time when I try to be good, Johnny wants me to kill somebody. There's a child recruitment sports thing where they fill 13-year-olds or 10-year-olds full of cyberware. But then they abandon some of them. And then they're like, my kid's in pain because they can't afford the meds for the cyberware. They're like, you signed a contract and you didn't get picked for a sports team. So sorry, your kid can go die.
Jeez.
So I get to her and I'm like, I guess I'm probably going to spare this lady. She seems like a nice lady. And Johnny's like, kill this bitch. I'm just like, okay. And I just, they're defenseless. It's not even an action thing. I just executing people, Judge Dredd style. And I feel terrible about it. All that to say, I'm kind of ranting a little bit and not giving you guys, it's not really a conversation with you guys anymore. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. You're
no, it's fine.
Yeah, you're good.
But the moral, this sort of moral pit you get into playing this game is just a little bit dissonant to what you're actually kind of up to, because this game's kind of like, we need to be secretive. The president's around. Don't make your face known. And here I am. Every time I go somewhere and they say something I don't like, I shoot. The whole place gets shot up and 50 people die. I'm just like, kapow, pow, 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 and I'm just like, all right.
Yeah.
But apart from that, the writing is strong, and I love the characters in this so far. And
yeah. Have you met Reed yet?
I have met Reed. So the mission I'm on is I'm about to scale the Black Sapphire.
Okay.
The tall building. So we just got some. I just did for Mr. Hands. I met Mr. Hands in real life.
Yeah.
In the game, and I liked him better when I couldn't see him. Now that I know who he is, he just seems like a dipshit like everyone else in the game. But that's okay. You're supposed to.
He just seems like a weird dad that calls people from the shadows. After I met him, I'm like,
yeah, exactly. And so we got the plans from him. I did some missions, and now we got plans, and me and Solomon are about to scale this large building, and that's where I'm at. So I've done like there's a mission where you have to escort the president from the plane, get her into hiding. And then you and Solomon go around and talk to this guy who you find out Somi is contacting you, because one of the things that this game's pretty good. I was like, how can Songbird contact me? Like, I was like, I think they plot armored her ability to contact me, but then they're like, oh no, it's through the black wall. Oh, so there's like, I don't know where it's going, but the writing's really competent, and I'm sure people are not telling me everything I'm supposed to know. And even Johnny's like, these guys are all these people are like wolves in sheep's clothing. Like everyone has ulterior motives. So I love it. My favorite part, my not favorite part is I think the expansion content, like the area Dogtown. I was like, this place is a shithole.
Well, yeah.
Like when you buy like an expansion, you're like, sweet new zone or new biome or something. I'm like, this place sucks. On the strength of like, look at the new zone. Do you want to buy this expansion? I'd be like, no. And then when Johnny Silverhand is like, oh fuck, I hate dog shit town. This place is terrible. I'm like, oh, the developers know that the player's probably gonna feel like they hate it too. And I really appreciated Johnny calling it dog shit town. Because it really feels like dog shit town.
It's
like,
a dump, dude. Everything about that is a total dump.
Worst. Yeah. It's like the worst zone I've played it in a video game. Like, I hate it. Like, I'm walking around and I'm like, this place is just like a trash dump. Like, there's nothing. Like, it graphically looks good and I'm like loving it, but I hate Pacifica. Like, I'm like, I want to go back to Corpo World. I want to go back to Kabuki or Little China or Little Japan. Like, please get me out of dog shit town. This place sucks.
That's really funny because I really like it, but I like it for the reasons you hate it. I like the dystopic places. So
well,
I'm the same way. I really like the look of it, but yeah, it is absolute dog shit.
I think I like that I hate it. Like, I don't think it's like I hate it and I wish I wasn't playing it. I actually have an emotional feeling about the area, which is I don't want to be here. Like, I don't want to be in this zone. This place is awful.
Yeah, it's nasty.
But like, it also really fits the lore because it's essentially like a little section of a city, like basically somebody's sports district got walled off and became its own country.
Yeah, basically.
But nobody wants it to exist, so it's not getting any services. It's not getting anything. People won't go there unless they're invited. Like, of course, it's gonna trash is gonna pile up. There's no infrastructure and all that.
I even understand the layout because I live close to a stadium and the business district that comes with being next to a stadium, and it's very different and gentrified, like in that little block.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's kind of fun to look at the nice version and have the video game version imagine what a war zone run by a warlord would look like. I just hate it, man. Like, it's just everything's broken and like just the roads suck. Like, everything sucks. But the game's awesome.
Yeah.
And I've put in, I think, like 30 or 40. It's all I've done all week for the most part. Apart from some Overwatch matches, I've played a ton of Cyberpunk. So
yep, it's you're mainlining it right now, sort of.
Yeah. So you guys have seen it to the end. I thought you finished it. Wasn't
Scott stopped because we're supposed to stream
the scary part.
He's supposed to pick the horror ending.
Yeah.
Am I close? Am I close to getting chased? That's the only spoiler you guys gave me. Is I know at some point some man is going to chase me in the hallway.
No, that's not what happens. But
okay.
No, that's not what happens. But no, I think you've got a ways. I think you've got a little bit to go.
I got a good bit to go.
There's a storyline involving twins.
Yeah.
And then there is sort of another spy mission adjacently connected to the twins. During that mission, you make a choice, which basically sets you on the path for your ending.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's the choice. That's the crux I'm at. That's the crossroads I'm at.
We've got to do it. We've got to figure out a time for you to experience the greatest horror game of 2023.
I don't know why we haven't yet. It's dumb. We should just do it.
Anyways, I'm loving it. The expansion, the writing is so strong. The characters are great. And I'm like hooked. Like, when a game hooks you, you want to find out what happens next.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's good. It's real good stuff. I just hate dog shit down.
It's just
and there's I just don't know how they solve these problems. Like, for a sequel, like sometimes it's a little dissonant with the world not quite reacting the right way to the I'm very violent in this playthrough. My first playthrough, I tried to be a good person, and then when you get to the end and realize all the endings suck, and being a good person
doesn't
did
matter.
nothing for you, and they give you suicide as an option before doing the last mission because of how depressing it is.
Yeah.
You know, the second playthrough, I was like, well, I don't give a fuck. Like, oh, boo-hoo, you died. Someone's child died. Well, it's Night City. Like, that happens every 2 minutes here. So, whatever.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. I'm glad you're back in. Game rules.
Yeah. Yeah. Game really kicks ass. I wish I didn't wait that long. It's kind of silly.
Yeah.
On some more lighter fare, though, I got some tales to spin you.
Oh, yeah? What do you got there?
This week for the multiplayer game with Crofton and Mike and Pepperoni Pete, there's been a real interest because Pepperoni Pete loves strategy games and he's trying to get us all to play Civ, and I know Civ.
Yeah. So you're
and
trying
Mike,
to play Civ
having gotten a
multiplayer?
taste of Civ, Mike, rather than play Baldur's Gate 3, wanted to play Civ, and Crofton, he goes to this place called the Eastern Townships, which means he's out of town doing family shit, which means like, oh, we can't play BG3 because he's in the country.
Yeah.
Except, so we're going to play Civ 6, but Crofton's like, I want to join you guys and play. I got my Steam Deck and I installed Discord, which is like, to the credit of Steam Deck, awesome that he has a full PC loadout that he can bring on the go.
Sure.
But we were like, we don't want you to play Civ 6 with us, kind of. Like, that's you're away, let's play this kind of game. But he insisted, and we're like, okay, we're going to be welcoming and cool, whatever, And what's funny, before I tell the tale, Crofton was in the core chat, Trump posting excuses before the show because he knew I was going to talk about it on the show.
Trump posting? What do you mean?
Yeah, well, when like something embarrassing happens to Trump and he's got some excuses,
Oh, that kind of thing. All right.
He makes a post about it.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's here's what happened. You guys have played Civ, right?
Yeah.
And in the early turns, they kind of go quick compared to like the naval period or the modern period where you got lots of cities and decisions to make. And in Civ, when you play multiplayer, everyone takes their turn at the same time and you all wait. And when everyone hits end turn, you move on to the next turn. But you'd expect those early turns when you have one city and like nothing to do for 80% of the turns because you're waiting for your 6 turns for a builder to build or something, that the turns would go relatively quick.
Sure.
Well, not with Crofton. From the jump, Crofton decided if there was something to fight, he was fighting it.
Oh, jeez.
Now, I couldn't see his map, but everything was combat related. And your first game of Civ, like, you should chill and relax and learn the mechanics before you go to war with things. It's not like a video game where you just beat enemies. We know that taking a city involves putting it under siege, converting the people, and in the early stages of the game, it's really hard to take over cities.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was fighting everything, and he had a 250-year war with the city-state, which is still unresolved. We had to save the game, but it really ground down the pace of the game. We played for 4 hours, and I think made it only through 70 turns out of a 500-turn game, which is insane. Like, honestly, But we were trying to tell him, we were just laughing about it because it's typical Crofton. He was bored and wanted to fight something, and
we've seen this. We've seen this with him before. It doesn't matter the genre, really. He'll just
he was ruining his Civ 6 experience by getting into like fights you can't win. So that's what happened.
That's great.
Which would be fine because that sets you behind, right?
No.
But it still was very time consuming. However, we all had a good time, and Civ 6 remains a great game. And I just wanted to talk about.
I mean, that's all you can ask. If you're having fun, and Crofton's somehow involved, and you're still having fun, then have fun. It's fine.
And you're still having fun.
Yeah, think of it that way.
It was a good time. It was a good time, but it's definitely. Oh, and he was playing Civ on the Steam Deck, which. I don't think Steam Deck is a good first try for your Civ game. It's probably
no. So here's what's weird: the full version of Civ 6 on the Switch is very controller integrated. It's awesome. It's actually really smart and well laid out, and it's perfect. It works great. Mm-hmm. For some reason, the Steam version doesn't support that control scheme when you try to use a controller, either on PC or on a Steam Deck. I don't know why. So you have to use like the thumb thing, and it's fine. You can get away with it, but it's way clunky compared to the way the Switch game did it. I don't know why they don't just apply that there.
Well, we were also doing like, hover over this and a tooltip appears, and he's like, I can't hover over things. and the screen is very small. I can't see the button. It was funny. So like, probably all you could do was fight things, but
for context, here's Crofton's recorded posted in our Discord right before the show.
Yeah.
I'm just going to get ahead of this because they are recording Core tonight, probably. Yes, Beau got me to play multiplayer Civilization. No, I had never played it before. Yes, I was playing on a small Steam Deck screen. No, I couldn't read anything. Yes, I declared war on some dumb city-state next to me in the opening turns. No, I didn't understand how to capture it. Yes, Beau has played the game a lot before. No, I probably won't win.
Wow.
All right.
He's a confident young man.
He's anticipating the way this discussion would go, apparently.
Yeah, he's getting good at that.
And the first response from Stashu in that chat was, sounds like copium.
It does sound like copium. High concentrations of copium coming out of him today. That's amazing. Thank you, Crofton, for your participation from afar. We appreciate it.
And thank you for playing Civ and being cannon fodder for the rest of us.
Indeed. Overwatch,
lastly,
how's that going for
play
you?
some Overwatch. Not much to say. Just I'm playing Overwatch and loving it. And there's a new hero out called Juno.
Oh,
and
what's Juno do?
And she floats around.
That's
has
it?
like cool boots that floats around. She shoots multiple balls at the same time.
Yeah. She got
And
pregnant. Michael Cera impregnated
No,
her?
not that Juno.
Okay. Different Juno?
Different Juno.
Okay.
She has like a gun that both heals and hurts, and she can fly around, and she can do an orbital strike that heals and damages, and makes a gate for you to walk faster.
Oh, there she is. She looks like fun.
She looks cool. Yeah, it's cool. Like, it's it's Overwatch quality. Cool.
She has story. Is there a story here? Like, she related to anybody? Because she kind of looks like.
I didn't watch the story, but she's from the moon, so she might have like some connection to Winston.
Okay.
She's from the moon. She really would like the payload to move from one spot to another.
Yeah, it's your favorite. It's your favorite part of how this works.
Yeah, I don't know too much about her lore. She's from the moon. That's why she wears an oxygen helmet on Earth. I don't like. Can someone tell her it's breathable air down here?
Ooh, I like her low. I like her low frame rate anime style intro. It's cool. When they start doing that, that looks awesome.
Here, I haven't watched it. Yeah.
I'll share it. I just like the style of it. You don't have to watch it, but
okay,
that seems new for them. Cell shady and the actual movement of it reminds me of like like a lot of animes, around 20 frames or 2015 or whatever it is. And they did Spider-Verse like that. It kind of reminds me of that. Oh, John might not like it though, because he doesn't like that Spider-Verse slowdown stuff, do you? You're not a fan.
I mean, I like Spider-Verse. It's just sometimes that
the low frame rate
bothers me.
Yeah.
We talked about it when some video game did it.
See, this should be. Why don't they just make movies? What are they doing? All right. Well done. Let's get to this.
That's a good question.
Oh, sorry. You had something else? Sorry.
No, I said, and that's that.
Oh, and that's that.
That's a good question.
Here's the good question. An email, actually a text from a listener. This is from a name was not provided. The number is 801-471-0462. It says, hey, Core guys, I'm a couple episodes behind, but I'm finding the conversation from Beau about retail WoW and John about Path of Exile interesting, and that they both have trouble with the amount of content thrown at you when you jump into the older game. I experienced the same thing when I picked up Skull and Bones a couple of months ago. Oh boy, I have that to look forward to.
Get ready, Scott.
Yep, my $24 gonna pay for itself. The game's not even that old, but you're immediately given a bunch of side stories. And the thing I find most annoying is that when the season pass throws free weapons at you that are more OP than anything the new player is supposed to obtain. So that's an issue. That's
hate that shit.
That's a thing they should fix. Anyway, I thought it was an interesting discussion and maybe a real problem with the games as a service model, making it hard for new or even returning players to get back into the game. Curious if you guys think if this is a problem game designers should be considering, and if you think there are any solutions for it. I really like this question. Yeah.
Huge problem. I think, and it's funny because to me, I think it's a massive issue, and it's one of the major reasons why I don't like, just blanket statement, don't like mobile games, is I think mobile games are very guilty of this like visual vomit whenever you look at it. And I don't know if that's just a sales tactic to try and get you to buy more crystals or whatever. Like, oh, just throws too much information at them. But like, every time you look at one, it's like, here's your daily tracker, here's your weekly tracker, here's your energy, here's your 5 currencies, here's a limited time activity, here's your current activity, here's your quest tracker, here's where your troops are. And they're trying to fit it all on a mobile screen. You're like, what the hell is this? But like, that's fine if it's limited to the world of mobile games, but if you listen to the pre-show, we'll talk about it a little bit here now, it's the same experience I had logging into World of Warcraft today to get a look at the expansion. I logged in, a window didn't load, but I had a bunch of text floating in the middle of my screen telling me, like, here's what's going on. It's supposed to be a helpful screen, but it didn't load fully, so it was just a bunch of floating menu buttons, and I'm trying to figure out what's broken right out of the gate. I have a little griffin pet running up against me that I didn't know I even had, trying to give me a quest about something, and is like, I'm sad, make me happy. And I'm like, okay, what's this? Thrall's up at the top of the screen going, welcome back, champion. We're having a very hard time. I need your help with things. I have a new quest marker about what war bands are flashing in the corner on my quest log going like, me, I'm important war bands. And all at the same time, I logged out on my mount, so I'm still on my mount. My bars look different because I haven't looked at my bars in a while. Thankfully, I had logged in previously. Otherwise, the reset talents option would have also been popping up because talents got refunded, and it would be notifying me of that. And if I was in Orgrimmar, it would be telling me to go check out the trader's store for the month because I hadn't done that. And I had mail because it was brew of the month, so I'm getting a notification that I've got mail being delivered. And this is all waiting for me the second I open the screen because I haven't played WoW in a while.
Right.
This is a major studio release, AAA experience, and they are not easing you back into it. They're hitting you with anything and everything right out of the gate. And the gut reaction, even though I went through a lot of steps to get here, is, ooh, close all this. Just close it. I don't want to deal with this. This is too much.
Yeah.
And a lot of games are guilty of doing this. And it sounds like Skull and Bones may be one of them. It's a difficult path to try and inform your players of what's new. One of the things that I find very difficult sometimes about Final Fantasy XIV is they're like, you get on that launcher page where you say play a game, and it's like, hey, there's a big festival going on right now. And you go, great. And then you log in the game and you go, where is it? Where do I go to start it? Who do I talk to? Yeah. That information's available on a web page if you want to go look it up. It's not easily presented in the game. At the same time, if something giant pops up every time I log in, that's also annoying. So it's a very difficult thing to walk and figure out the right way to do it. But I do think companies in general need to know that, like, hey, not everybody is logging in for a day-to-day grind. And while it might just be, oh, well, we're just having Thrall pop up to welcome you back to the game and give you the new quest. What about the players that you have been targeting? Because a lot of people quit that are coming back after a long time that are going to have 10 other things immediately demanding their attention when they log in. How are they going to perceive the game when they log in? I don't think a lot of people are thinking about that.
I think you're right. I think it's a problem across the board for service games like this. I think in WoW's case, they did something nice for pre-patch where it was very clear that you needed to go talk to some people in Dalaran. Khadgar, I think maybe Thrall and Jaina were there. Anyway, it led you there to talk to them, and it gave you a recap of the story so far. And I went, this is awesome. Little recap, and it showed all this stuff, and it was in sequence, and you're like, okay, cool, I'm caught up. I was already kind of caught up, but I thought, that's a nice thing to do. The problem is today, like if you log in today, there's that message, there's the 4 others you mentioned, there's the new content, there's Thrall going, welcome back, champion. I mean, it's all this stuff at once. And I think it must be more difficult than we think. It's not our job to do it, but this must not be easy, or else they would just do it. You know what I mean? And I don't know what the answer is or how to make it better, but I agree with you. It's a problem. So anyway, there's that. Beau, any thoughts on that whole thing?
I think John pretty much covered it. I don't feel any differently than he does about the kind of spam that games as a service do. You know,
they're famous for it.
I mean, there's no one single solution because it's depends on the kind of game and service we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
There is when you first play a game, there is like an onboarding that eases you in.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like Hearthstone did this okay. When you first play the game, it eases you in, like the card game. Snap's kind of like that too.
Mm-hmm.
And I know at one point, if you haven't been in a Hearthstone in a while, it gives you like a refresher. It'll still spam you with stuff like current messages, but there was like a re-easing back in at one point where you could just sort of easily play games. But the option to skip if you felt comfortable. But,
interesting.
Yeah, I think it depends on the game. Certainly, that was my experience. Every time I'd log into retail, I'd feel so overwhelmed with shit.
Yeah.
Which is where the whole like it'd be kind of fun if like somehow expansion content, not always, but sometimes at a certain milestone would be a fresh restart.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's a big decision for those to make. Where like every 3 expansions of WoW would be a fresh world, a fresh character, its own sort of sliver of Warcraft.
Yeah.
So I still think they should do that soon.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Because classic and retail could exist, so you could have, you don't even have to call it 2, just like a different, 10 years later or something like that. I don't know. But anyways,
it's a challenge, obviously, but like John always says, it's not our challenge, it's theirs. So maybe they'll hopefully figure it out.
Mm-hmm. But that one part about getting a bunch of weapons and bullshit that overpowers the content, I hate that stuff. I hate anything that trivializes the challenge of something,
I do like that when I got in and I did my first few quests, the items they wanted to give me right away are way lesser than the ones I earned doing Dungeon Heroics last week. So
that's good.
It feels good to kind of go, oh, those are shitty. I won't even need those yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then part of me is also like, well, I would like these rewards to be rewarding. So it's kind of a mix. Got some good gold.
We'll probably get there soon enough, though, right?
Oh, yeah. It'll catch up. Always does. All right. Well, there you go. That's our show today. By the way, if you want to send your own messages into the show, 801-471-0462 or talk to the core@gmail.com. We'll take either one. You can do a voicemail as well if you are so inclined. And I want to welcome a huge swath of new patrons this week. Crazy numbers. Yeah, this is great. Patreon.com/core show. This is who joined. Ryan Erb, Balder Sigurdsson.
Wow, I think you might have gotten that one right.
Just by doing a voice doesn't mean you pronounce the name right.
I'm
just going to throw it out there. 2
different reactions. I'm like, oh, good job. John's like,
that might be wrong. Even if I got it right, doing the voice made it worse.
Get no pat on your back for that one.
Sorry to all the Swedes or wherever he's from. Isaac.
Could be wrong, too.
Andreas Fisker, Brandon Wilson, Eric Alapont, Blue Vein, ew. James West, James Suss.
Where did you picture the vein?
I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Just anywhere.
Uh-huh.
I got a good one right
vein.
It's right here.
Any vein that's blue.
James Suss, I like that name. Aaron Gibson and Kenneth Rohrstrom. The crossed through O's. Do you say those different?
I don't know anything about those O's.
Maybe it's just style.
I don't know.
I think you got the strum right, though. It's not strom.
Strum, right?
Strum.
Rohrstrom. These are all the new folks that have joined us this week over at patreon.com/core show. You'll get no commercials ever, pre-show content every week, monthly benefits, including game art in the mail, host specials. Still got one coming from John, I think, right?
Yeah, it's going to be about pillows.
What? Is it really?
Gamer pillows?
Yeah.
No, you'll have to listen to it. It's going to be about pillows.
I'm hooked.
Can't wait to find out more on that. Yeah, no kidding. Anyway, go find out for yourself why it's the best thing you can do for your favorite gaming show at patreon.com/core show. And a quick mention about the Core Guild. I guess it's probably more like the Core/Instance Guild because we're going to get people from both sides there.
It's not full.
It's not full.
There's fake news. There's lots of room.
Yeah, all this fake news about it being full. It's going to fill up quick, so I would get in now is what I would say. So anyway, head on over to our Discord and sign up. There's a whole thing dedicated to retail WoW as well as classic and all that stuff. So if you want to get in there, now is your time. That's going to do it for us. Frogpants.com/core for everything else. We need Grandma, though, right? Grandma's good.
Yeah, we need Grandma. And how long is the show right now?
We are at... Oh, my Lord. Hold on. Okay, we've been streaming for 4 hours, 23 minutes, 54 seconds.
So the show is going to be over 3 hours probably, right?
Well, pre-show was 47:10. And then a 143 for the first half, and then 129 for the second. So I think that puts us over. Yeah.
Bingo!
Did you get bingo?
Oh, look at Beau. He got a bingo.
I got a bingo. Someone bought a game.
Yeah.
Show goes longer than 3 hours. Free space. VR talk from Beau. And only 3 hosts on the show.
Nice. John, how close did you get to bingo today?
I didn't get there.
Oh.
If I had talked about, or if somebody had FERTed, if we'd had a FERT, I would have had a bingo.
Was there a FERT?
Yeah, there was a FERT. There's always a FERT.
There was a FERT for me.
Yeah.
There wasn't one. Yeah.
There wasn't.
Wait, was there one or wasn't there? I thought there was.
There was not one.
There was not one? Okay.
I don't think.
Here's the sound for not getting it. All right, so that's for you.
It's kind of a FERT. That's a mouth FERT.
It's
bingo.
a mouth FERT. Yeah, congratulations. Bingo.
Yeah, now it's there.
Well, anyway, yes. Omega 9 says, I was expecting a 20-minute show tonight. Yeah. Of course not. All right, we're going to
do that once just to troll people.
Just to give them shit and just do 20 minutes real quick. That'd be amazing.
Stick to the original plan, 45 minutes, tight 45 minutes.
Yeah, a tight 45 times 4. Anyway, hey, John, a.k.a. Grandma, old lady Grandma over there, tell us what games we played so that people won't forget.
Well, it's one of the Gamescom, so we're going to talk about a lot of games. So you're getting hyper speed, Grandma, tonight. Get ready for it. But we're going to talk about the games they played, not a show. So Secret Level, which they talked about, is a show.
Yeah.
Not going to get mentioned.
Yeah.
The rest, however, here are the video games discussed on this episode of Core. Civilization 7, Borderlands, Reanimal, Little Nightmares 3, The First Berzerker, Khazan, Delta Force, Hawk Ops, Masters of Albion, Lynked, Banner of the Spark, Dune Awakening, Inzoi, Predecessor, MechaBreak, Marvel Rivals, Path of Exile 2, Goat Simulator, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Mafia: The Old Country, Fatal Fury: City of the Wolves, Dragon Ball Z, Sparkling Zero, Call of Duty, Black Ops 6, It Has Zombies, Dying Light: The Beast, Monument Valley 3, Starfield, Batman: Arkham Shadow, Squid Game, Arcane, Breakout, Infinite, Tactical Breach, Wizards, WoW, Shapes with a Z 2, Skull and Bones, Black Myth, Wukong, Baldur's Gate 3, Fortnite, Cyberpunk 2077, Civ 6, and Overwatch.
Wow. I'm sure that someone's going to find that helpful. I don't know who.
I thought it was just the games we played. Was it all the games we talked about?
I decided, whenever we cover a show, we're going to talk about all the games we talked about.
Yeah.
Well, I loved it either way. I was happy for more.
I was going to say, do you want to tell Grandma not to do it? I'm not going to tell her. She should do whatever she wants.
Tell her shit, man. Every time.
Arena Breakout Infinite still made me laugh.
Yeah,
I couldn't do
good.
it. It's such a
that's a hard. Name. That's a really, really, especially knowing what the game is. It's so dumb. Anyway. Learn more next week when we've had a chance to really dig into Arena, whatever, Infinite. Thank you all for listening. This has been a fantastic show. Can't wait to do it again. We'll be here next Thursday. Come watch us live if you want to, 5 p.m. Mountain Time, or check out the podcast after. That'll do it for us, for me, for Beau, for John. We'll see you next time.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network. Yes. Get more at frogpants.com.